Rich Mitch, I love you. Yeah, buddy. I'm going to get a warning again. I got a semi-warning from the super asking me, who's doing all the yelling upstairs on your floor? I said, I don't know. But welcome to the Perfume Metaverse. Rich Mitch. Chat, how are you? Sob replay, best ever. Sob, tell us, who do you love the most? Because I see it love, love, love everywhere. But who do you love the most? Rich, who do you think Sob loves the most?
I don't know. I saw him loving Redolescence earlier on.
There you go. He's so full of love, but I want to know who you love the most, Sob.
Who does Sob love the most?
Rich, how you been?
Hello. I've been all right. How have you been?
Rudy, Mika, Paroli, Space Out. I've been very well. Thank you so much. Drawn by Sense. Michael John. Bobby O. Let's just say hello to a couple of people here. And Taffy, hello. Justin from South Africa. Let us know where you're watching from, especially if you're a first-time commenter. I love knowing where people are tuning in from. Prashkuvka, hello. Zdravo.
Prashkuvka.
Yashi. Jeremy. Phil. Flower Girl B2000. Rich, what's new?
Perfume is new. Got Perfume today. Getting perfume tomorrow. Getting another haul, which has been shipped out on Thursday, I think, hopefully. And apart from that, I'm at the doctor's tomorrow.
How you feeling?
How am I feeling? A bit sore.
Everything okay?
So, yes, it's nothing unexpected or anything like that. It's nothing untoward, you know what I mean?
Right.
Apart from that, I'm all right. Yeah. We got the acro samples. The acro samples came the day after we did the shitting on Matière Première.
Right.
So.
And you like those much better, right?
Oh, much better. They're actually quite surprisingly good. Quite surprisingly good. Get the sample set. I think you might enjoy. I might. With them. Yeah. Yeah. They are.
Somebody in the last stream said, Eugene, get closer to the mic. We can't hear you. And I'm like, well, the damn mic, it's like, I got one of these old school mics. It's like, it's right here, like under me. I can't get any closer to it without getting uncomfortable. And then after the stream, I was talking to you. I was like, oh shit, the mic was unplugged.
No way.
Yes. So it clicked, right? I got to get Aram on this. Got to get Aram's help on this.
Outrageous.
But I heard something new.
What did you hear that was new?
I was spending some time at the Chanel counter yesterday, and I heard some good news. And again, this is all just rumored. There's no truth to this, but apparently early 2022, we can expect a men's release.
Ooh.
Yay! And it's been so long since Bleu. Bleu came out in 2010, right?
11. I think it was 11, wasn't it? 2010, 2011, something like that. It's been 11 years.
I thought it was 10. Whatever. Yeah, it's close enough.
Outrageous.
That's exciting. Ah, there's Sob. Sob,
who do you love
the most? Tell us. So sweet.
Love. Houdini's here. Hello.
Milos.
Bleu de Chanel Elixir. Did they say a new men's release as in, is it...
something that's not Bleu or not exclusive?
Right. So it's going to be a new line.
Right. And I hope that's true.
Outrageous. Did the Chanel people tell you that?
That's right.
Oh, my.
Eva. American Pie. Lee. Joey Cannoli. I thought you were from Wisconsin. Is that bullshit? He's not from Milwaukee, really, is it? Or is that like a decoy?
I don't know.
Wait, is that
I
the
don't
real
think
Joey
Milwaukee. I
Cannoli?
think it's,
Or one of
I
the
think,
spin-offs? Because he's got some
no,
clones
that's where he's
coming
from.
on.
That's where he was born. That's where he was born. He was born in New York. Well, he's a New Yorker, but he moved to Wisconsin.
Peter Corcoran in the house. What's up, Peter? Peter, you should
Legend.
come on sometime. I'd love to chat
Yes,
with
he
you.
should. Yes, he should. I've been speaking. I have secured something for Peter, which shall be arriving imminently.
Frank from Norway. Utah. Wesley from Utah. Michael John, South Florida. Texas. Enrique Vasquez. We got Yorkshire. We got Poland. Okinawa.
Yorkshire's just down the road. Yorkshire's just down the road. It's not far from me, actually.
Serapio Silva in the house. Is this the #1 Fragcom troll, Serapio?
Serapio's all right, surely.
I'm sure glad I have him on my side. Sob loves God the most. Eugene and Rich are not too far behind. Wow, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is Acro good? Well, go watch Rich's video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go check out Rich's video. He did a first impressions on Acro, and he's I guess you were impressed, weren't you? I haven't watched the full video yet.
Oh,
but I'll get to it.
After the Matière premiere, my hopes were not high for one of these, like another one of these Perfumer brands. Perfumer brands Perfumer's own brand perfumes. So when I tried these, I was like really quite enamored with a couple of them. Dark is a chocolate fragrance, and it is actually, I wouldn't say it's photorealistic, but it's not far off, you know. It's really good. If you want a chocolate fragrance for yourself or for someone else, that would be, if you know a chocolate lover, that would be like a really good perfume. Yeah.
Platinum on Haze. God, I hope not. Please no.
Platinum and taste. Can you imagine? Shite.
So, you know, I was thinking, you know, there's a lot of kickback or this angst against YouTubers reviewing fragrances. And I guess, I don't know, is George a YouTuber or not, but he's integrated into the community, right? He's always around. So I guess he can be considered or not, whatever, however you want to look at it. So there's all this, like, it's this animosity against perfumers or YouTubers releasing their own perfumes. And you know what? There's nothing ultimately wrong with that, as long as they have you know, some good inspiration and they're releasing something quality. Just because you're a perfumer yourself and releasing your own brand doesn't necessarily make it any better. Because you know, the things that we smelt last week released by a perfumer weren't very good.
Shite.
Yeah,
they were pretty bad. I've got to be honest. That Falcon Leather was not a good perfume.
Falcon Pleather.
Falcon Pleather. That's a good. Pleather. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anuj is in the chat. Hello. We're gonna have Anuj on a stream one day. He's gonna take us around Enchanté. I'm from Milwaukee, New York.
Brewers or Yankees? Just tell us that. Brewers or Yankees? He's Adidas. He's not Brewers or Yankees. He's Adidas. All right, so let's get into Tabac. You got Tabac today?
Yeah, sort of. I ordered a couple, and one arrived. And so I contacted George, and he was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." And so he's sending us another one out. But this one, the original, I bought two, one for me and one for Nigel, from 2 cents worth. So I'm going to send this one on to Nigel. So he's not waiting anymore because he's waited long enough. Because he was also waiting for another perfume that I got from Enchanté as well. So I've actually got a bottle of Pavarotti for him as well, and a bottle of Tabac. So I'm going to pack them up tomorrow and I'm going to send them on to him. But fortunately, there was also a travel atomizer here as well. So I have actually got access to Tabac, which is handy. So that's what I will be smelling from today.
All right, so
But
you wore it.
I put it on my hand earlier today to do a little bit of research throughout the day, see how it went up, how it went down, and I've reapplied it. So I've got like a decent first impression of it. So we can sit and talk about it together on stream. Like now, I'll have to respray it now so I can get the top and everything.
Yeah. Are you going to watch The House of Gucci? Yes. I don't watch many movies, but I've seen the ad for this, and I'm definitely interested. I'd love to see it.
Apparently, Gaga's meant to be amazing in it, but it's meant to be a bit of a fashion wank, like fashion people can get a bit sort of they can get a bit up themselves. It gets a bit grand.
Did you say Anuj was here? Anuj, I'm coming to see you tomorrow.
Yes, he is.
Hello, Anuj. So Anuj is the owner of Enchanté Perfumes here just outside of Toronto. I guess y'all heard of him from, Rich sending a lot of people over there. So hopefully we can get Anuj on someday, maybe in the next stream, and hopefully we can get him to show his shop around. The place is a gold mine for vintage perfumers or perfume lovers.
That's right.
Rich has spent a small fortune over.
I spent a large fortune, never mind a small fortune. I've spent a fucking large fortune there. It's been outrageous.
Oh, he says he shared something out this morning. There he is, Anuj Patel.
Yeah, he sent something to Paroli. Paroli's got Costume National Hom. It's really nice, actually. I've got it right here in front of us. So, yes.
Ooh. My friend wants to have her ex murdered after watching the House of Gucci story. Not a good... I don't know what that's about. I don't know what the plot line is about, so...
Don't spoil the plot. Yeah.
I think I'm caught up. Where's George? Is George here?
Don't think so. He hasn't commented if he is.
He's got to be around somewhere. Anyway, I'm in. Let's talk about this. This is Zaharoff Tabac. Okay. So disclaimer: George sent me a very small sample earlier this year, last year. I can't remember. It was 2 or 3 mils just to try out his stuff, and he asked me for some feedback. And I thought it was great. So when he released Tabac, I went on his site and I purchased a bottle for myself with my own money. And within 15, because I enjoyed it, not only did I enjoy Tabac, but I also enjoyed the sample of baklava that he sent me. I thought it was brilliant. And I went and I ordered a bottle as soon as I found out they were being launched. And within a few moments, George has sent me a refund. So I know a lot of people have a problem with this. Sponsored or sent out free bottles. It is what it is. I wanted to support my friend George because he is my friend and because I enjoyed his perfume. So put an asterisk on that. I don't care. Take it any way you will. That's just what it is. But I went and I wore Tabac today, and I can say I pleasantly enjoyed this. And I think it's a very true to life tobacco perfume. Very complex, very dynamic, transitions very well. And at the end of the day, it's a very, it's a rewarding wear. It was a very enjoyable wear, I found. Had a little bit of sweetness. It wasn't overwhelming. I wasn't bombarded with sweetness. For me, it was kind of like as soon as you see honey and tobacco, you know, it's a concern. But this was done very classy. George is a classy guy, and I wouldn't expect him to release anything gimmicky or tacky. You know, I always expect class from him. So that's exactly what this was, a very enjoyable, classy, well-made perfume that is competitive with any other tobacco fragrance out there.
Yeah.
Tobacco Vanille, Fumerie Turk. I've got a bunch here. Honestly, I enjoyed it much more than Christian Dior released this earlier this year.
Shite.
Color, and it's shite. Okay, it's a pile of shite, and I much more enjoy Tabac. You know, by miles and miles and miles. You know, I'd say honestly, it competes with almost any other tobacco fragrance out there that's on the market right now. Just the way it wears, its enjoyability, really well made. You know, I've got Queer Modesque. I think I enjoyed it just a little bit more than Queer Modesque, which is a Serge Lutens, right?
So, Serge Lutens isn't it? Serge Lutens isn't the Queer Modesque isn't the tobacco.
Sorry, Fumerie Turk.
Fumerie Turk.
Fumerie Turk.
See, I think they're both tobacco fragrances, but I don't think they're as comparable as comparing it to something like Tobacco Vanille or Tabac Rouge. Tabac Rouge is something I would compare it to, and I really like Tabac Rouge.
I think Tobacco Vanille was the first in that style of honey, clove, tobacco, and I think or was it Fumerie Turk?
No, I don't think it smells a lot like Fumerie Turk. Because you texted me this earlier today, and I was like, you were like, it improves upon Fumerie Turk, and I was like, hang on a minute. I was like, I don't think it smells much like Fumerie Turk. Yes, Fumerie Turk's like a sweet tobacco, but the tobacco in it's completely. I don't get honey from Fumerie Turk.
I do. Honey, leathery tobacco, ambery, golden ambers.
It's I don't get that from Fumerie Turk. I get the tobacco's more of like a bitter sour, like real angry, not angry. It's unsweetened tobacco, and then the sweetness in Fumerie Turk is separate from the tobacco, with the sweetness in Tabac and Tabac Rouge and Vanille Havane. It feels like the tobacco's been infused with sweetness, whereas the sweetness in Fumerie Turk is separate from the tobacco for me. I mean, we might be like splitting hairs here. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But
right.
But I've got to be honest. I don't see how they're as similar. I like when you said that, I was quite thrown by it. I thought that I don't think they smell similar. Apart from the fact they're both tobacco fragrances, I don't think they smell very similar at all. I really like Fumerie Turk.
I like Fumerie Turk as well. I see a lot of similars. I think they're both Oriental genres, golden, woody. You know, they both got those that Oriental base, vanilla, benzoin, tonka. Slightly chocolatey.
I sort of know what you mean, like a dark chocolate sort of thing, not like an unsweet. Pardon me, I'm having a drink. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. An unsweetened chocolate. You know how like
I
dark
definitely
chocolate.
Get something like that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I think what I enjoyed the most was I was expecting for it to be much sweeter. I think there's a listed booze note, but I didn't get much booze from it. To me, it was any sweetness was coming from honey, and I found it really restrained as well.
Yeah, there was like a natural honey, wasn't it? It wasn't like a synthetic honey where it's where the honey's just like basically sugar and like syrup.
Right.
There's a world of difference between honey and syrup.
I actually found this like less goopy than, let's say, Guerlain's Tonka Imperial, which is more sugary.
So have you sprayed any? Have you got some on? Have you like freshly sprayed it so you've got the top? Because I've just sprayed it there. I don't want to say it's got like a ginger sort of, but it's got a ginger vibe about it, like right off the top. It hasn't got it's not a ginger note, but it's got like that sort of tang.
It's really
know, and
dry in the opening. Like I don't get any sweetness in the opening.
no, I get like a twang in the opening, and I'm wondering what it is. I do. I get a twang, like from ginger. It's Tabac is not on Fragrantica. I've got the notes here.
Is there a reason for that?
It's probably just George hasn't uploaded it yet. You've got to get in touch with them and upload a Perfume. So the top notes are star anise, fresh ginger. There it is. It's got ginger in it. And blue lavender from France. That might be the
lavender. Yeah, it's very herbal. There's a lot of transitions to this, and as it wears, it starts to reveal itself. It starts to open up to show different facets. So it's constantly changing and evolving. It is really complex.
Yeah.
And beautiful at the same time.
Yeah. So let us read the notes off. It's star anise from Vietnam, fresh ginger from Sri Lanka, and blue lavender from France. The mid notes are gold honey, tobacco from South America, and blonde cedar from Virginia. The bottom notes are olibanum, rose de grasse, juicy plum, not them dry plums, juicy plums. Sea amber from Russia. I'd love to know what that is. Tonka beans and a vanilla.
I get tonka, like scorched, burnt tonka in the base. Golden, powdery, brown, resinous, incensey. I get a lot of incense in the base. I think this was described as was it spiritual or meditative? And I definitely see that. The base reminds me a lot of Tonka Imperial from Guerlain, which has tobacco in it as well. So it has a lot of that color, that golden brown color, those powdery textures, very texturous in the base, resinous, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Woody ambery thing. But the wearing experience it's brilliant. It's fantastic.
I definitely get that. I definitely get that ginger in the top. Get a huge ginger. See, I did not have ginger in the top until I've just checked the card. And I definitely get that twang from the ginger at the top. It does change a lot. What you get at the top isn't what you get at the bottom.
No. It's constantly changing and evolving, constantly revealing itself.
Constantly revealing itself. You get arrested for constantly revealing yourself.
Like constantly revealing different aspects to it.
Oh, there's so now I'm getting like the sort of the cedar.
Yeah.
I get the cedar in it. The cedar's like a cedar's like the clean part. You were saying earlier about like I can imagine the lavender and the cedar providing like a cleanness, the honey as well. George is putting the notes in the chat.
Fir balsam. I get those balsams, and I didn't know they were Canadian, but I think that's kind of what it takes from the signature, Zaharoff signature. That's very balsamic and incensey.
Got the lavender.
I love balsams.
Got the lavender from the signature. The lavender,
yes, and it is quite herbal. So it's constantly just changing. And I get a lot of smoke notes too, smoky, and it's not like it smells like, or it reminds me of like an unlit cigar. It hasn't been a smoked cigar. It doesn't have that cherry sweetness or aspect to it. You know, it's like a very fresh cigar.
Too wet to smoke.
Yeah. Do you get fresh cigar? Or is it a smoked cigar?
No, it's not a smoked cigar. I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm not a big cigar smoker. Like, I don't smoke anything. So it's got, for me, it's got this sort of like, you know, like, I was talking about the cedar before. You know, when you've cut cedar, right? You've cut like wood. You know, you go to home, like what Americans have, like Home Depot, or like you go to like the DIY store or something, and they've got those big planks of wood, and you can get them to chop them to like various sizes. You know, when you first encounter that smell, right? You know, when you're driving up to the store and you first get the first whiffs of that smell, right? It's got that. It's not strong. It's very
Like
it's
subtle?
very, yes, but it's also got that sort of it's not astringent, but it's clean.
Fresh.
It's got that cleanliness. You know, like tobacco. Tobacco is a bit like an antibacterial. Honey is an antibacterial. Cedar is often used like to perfume soap. It's got that clean sort of vibe to it, but like a natural cleanness, not like bleach, not
right.
like, you know, like not that sort of thing. It's got that to it, and then it's got like the twist, like it. That's the best way I can describe it. It's got the twist with like the ginger. You know that you get like a ginger cake, which is like sweet, right? And then like the flavor comes and it turns like sour, and it's got like that twist of like, it's got that. That's what it's like.
I definitely know what you mean by clean. I picked up something clean as well, and it's hard to describe clean. I guess not dirty. There's nothing dirty in this fragrance. There's nothing animalic,
It's got oud in it.
There might be, but I don't find it dirty.
Yeah,
but it's still
how many dirty
at the
ouds?
same time.
How many dirty ouds? Right, dirty ouds are just ouds that have been fermented for too long.
There might be oud, but that could just be a perception of smoked wood, right?
That could be what you're perceiving it as, because you got
smoked notes. Maybe you need a diaper, bro.
It's got this sort of like, you know, how can I describe it? Let's come back to you. I'll come back to you about it. So I'm trying to think of how to describe what I'm smelling.
Do you get any colors from this?
No, what I was going to say there is that I get like a dankness from it as well. You know, like when you get like a pouch of tobacco, and like the tobacco is actually like a bit wet, and it's like a little bit damp. You know, it's got that sort of the tobacco's got that sort of vibe, like fresh cake. You know, fresh cake.
Fresh cake. I know Joey likes fresh cake.
I was just about to say, Joey's here. He likes fresh cake.
Joey's talking about cake.
I was talking about cake. It's it's got that sort of vibe, like a little wetness, like a little dampness, a little bit soggy.
Fresh, wet tobacco, not yet fully dried out.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. You know, when you get a pouch of tobacco, it's usually got like a bit of dankness left in it. You've got a bit of wetness. That's what it smells like. You know?
Yeah. I agree. Lots of twists and turns. I like it. It's complex. It wears brilliantly. It's really entertaining. I like that. I can, I oversprayed. I put on 10 sprays this morning, and I could feel it and smell it with every single breath I took. It never really disappeared.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that kind of performance on me. I got about 4, 5, 6 hours. I had it on my hand, and I was smelling it all day. I was going to smell it, and I like reapplied it later in the day. And I've like reapplied it again now, but I didn't get a huge performance. But today's the only day that I've worn it,
Yeah.
This isn't like a review. This is like a more like first impression. It's got that sort of, it's light, isn't it? It's quite a light perfume for a tobacco.
I didn't find it light at all. It wore very, you know what it felt like? It was cozy, like a warm bath. Not hot water, but a nice warm bath. And
Right.
I didn't find it light at all. I thought it was quite on the stronger side without being too aggressive or obnoxious.
Yeah. George says the juice in the bottle is in higher concentration. George, I won't be like doing a full review on it until I've worn it. Like, I'll not be doing a full review of this until after Christmas. I like to try and get like a proper wear, and like I won't like had a massive thing on my channel, like talking, like asking people, should I do first impressions? Because I'm not sure how I feel about first impressions. Because you can give
do whatever you like, man. It's your channel.
That's what I was like, just like whether first impressions videos have like that much sort of like credence, or like how much credence you should give to a first impression. Right. It's a good general point though, isn't it? You know what I mean? About like you see some people who review fragrances the day they get them. Like they must have only had them for about 2 or 3 hours, and they're putting out like reviews. And it's like, what are you talking about? Surely you can't know a fragrance that well.
Here's the thing that I find with first impressions, they do say a lot, but as you wear the perfume and get to know it, your feelings can change. There's been many times that I've hated things on first impressions, and I wear them and discover things. And even though they still may suck, you're like, you get used to them, and you're like, I don't know, maybe it's like you sympathize with it, or it just comes around, or you get used to those things that bothered you before.
Do you think that it can do they can go the other way as well? You can really like something and then turn on it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can get.
Yeah, I think that as well. I think it goes both ways. Yeah, because it's happened to me. It's happened to me where I've really liked something and then not worn it for 2 years and thought, oh, I'll wear that. And then I've put it back on and I've been like, oh God, no, this is not what I should have worn. Like ever. What was it? What was it that I really liked? I'll have to think. I've probably given it away. I'll give you an example of that. Intense Oud by Gucci, right? Bought that, right? Loved it. Thought it was fantastic, right? Didn't wear it all summer, all spring and all summer, right? And then I went to wear it earlier this year, or I went to wear it like earlier last year, and I just completely went off. I ended up giving it to my mate Richie G, and I know he's watching. I ended up giving it to him, and I'd literally gone from loving it to thinking it was awful. And I'll tell you what I've done that in the reverse with Gucci Guilty Absolute.
Yeah.
Gucci Guilty Absolute. I hated it the first time I smelled it. And now I love it. Now I totally love it. It's absolutely fantastic. I might wear it tomorrow now. I've reminded myself that it exists.
See, I'm like that back and forth on these Dior's. It's like I spray them and I'm like, oh, like I expect so much from them, and I'm usually left underwhelmed. But after wearing them 5 or 6 or 7 times, you're like, it's okay. It's not that bad. It's this and that. But that's why I usually go back to first impressions. I think they are meaningful and they say a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a funny one how your nose can change. It makes you nervous, it keeps you on your toes, how your nose can change, like, because if you haven't worn anything for ages and then like you go back to try and wear it and you find that you think it's shit and you've got 17 bottles of it like I have with Balenciaga. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? But I can't see myself falling out of love with Balenciaga. I think I've got that one for life. But yeah, the stuff that I wear that sometimes I love and sometimes I don't.
How many of you guys have tried this, the Tabac? I'd love to know. I know it's just come out. I think he just started shipping them out the other day.
Loads of people. I've seen loads of reviews on it. Loads of people are loving it.
Well, I can see why. George was asking me if I lost weight, and I got some comments yesterday on my Instagram saying I lost weight, and I was like, "That's really weird." I can see myself every day, and I've been like this since summertime, so it's weird to get all these new comments at the 3, 4, 5 months later when nothing's really changed for me in that time. But
interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to put the link out. If somebody's tried Tabac and they want to come on and share their feelings, their enthusiasm, or whatever, you're more than welcome to. If George wants to come on and talk a little bit about Tabac, I'd love to see him. Alan Henson got my bottle last Friday. Of what? Tabac? Alan, why don't you come on and tell us what you think of Tabac?
Yes, Alan, come on. Oh, I'm stiff.
The Bopper, I have it. Need to take it for a few rides. So far, it's nice. I really like the dry down. So what else, Rich? What else have you been getting into?
Well, I've tried these acro samples. They're really good. Most of them are good. One of them smells like an onion.
An onion?
Yeah, one of them smells like an onion.
I'm not sure I'd want to smell like an onion.
It's so strange. It's called Haze. And I think it's meant to recreate like cannabis, but like all of the cannabis fragrances, it smells nothing like cannabis. And it smells like an onion. It's quite a strange smelling perfume. It's got that sort of almost like a sour iris, like almost like an unpleasant iris note in it. It's where are they? Yeah, they are. I went through them. The presentation's really good. I think it's like a little tin. Like I can imagine some biscuits ending up in this tin. Because it's like a really good, it's like a proper little tin. Caboose is here. Yeah, but hey. I wonder if Caboose has got Tabac. He should. Oh, hold on. I've just dropped me Timbuktu. I'm expecting another matriarch tomorrow, which will be nice.
Timbuktu?
Yeah, I like Timbuktu. It's nice. I've got the what did I get? I got the vintage. I got a sample of the vintage off Raz Scott. Remember Raz Scott?
Yep.
Yeah, I got the sample. Got a vintage off him. Just a little sample.
Eva's got Tabac. Eva, do you want to come on and tell us about Tabac? How you feel about it?
Yes. Do you want to come on and tell us? No back for Boost. I'll send you some if you want to. If you want to smell it for Boost, and I can pester you every day.
Somebody out there smelt it and wants to come on. Maybe they're too intimidated to come onto our stream. You think that might be the case?
Should be. Should be very scared.
Eva's should be terrified.
Should be. Eva's not terrified. Oh God, this is so weird. It does have a green onion sort of bite, like a leek.
Ooh.
It's a little bit nicer than it was. It has got that sort. It had like I sort of understand why they would call it haze.
I
So I'm
wonder
like,
what the thought process is, you know, when you go and do something like that.
like what?
To put an onion accord in the perfume.
I don't think it's meant to smell like onion. I think that's just what I'm getting it. I think that's just what I'm picking up. It's got that sort of cannabisy sort of like when you open like a bud, you know, you get like a bud of cannabis and you first open it up and it's got that sort of like, wow, like very green sort of chlorophyll sort of smell. And then it's got like a sweetness to it as well and a sourness. You know, when you get like dank weed.
All right, we got our first guest here. Let me bring her on. Eva. Hello, Eva. Test tube.
Hi, Eugene smells good.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Rich. I'm
Man,
good. I'm not gonna stay long because I'm in bed and I'm gonna go to sleep soon. But
Fair enough.
the book is great. I got it hand delivered indeed in Paris with George. He gave it to me in his hotel room. I think I was
did he?
the very first person to get a bottle, and I loved it immediately. I'm
Nice.
completely biased, but I
Do
do
you-
love it.
We're all biased with every single decision we make in our life. We're biased in one way or another. But do you find it too masculine?
No. No,
Not
I
at
love
all?
it on myself. No, I think it's perfectly unisex. But maybe it just goes sweeter on my skin. To me, it's kind of sweet. It's really perfectly unisex for me. But
Yeah.
maybe it goes more masculine on guys. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
But rosé, have you tried rosé?
I have, yes.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was a lovely spring rose.
Yeah. No, that one is one of my favorite releases of the last year, definitely.
Okay.
But bias, doubt of love.
Biased out of love.
Oh, bias out of
Uh-huh.
love. Yeah, exactly. No, I love George.
How can you
He's
not? George is a well-liked man. You know, I really enjoyed having him. Like when I had him here last year, it was like one of the highlights of my YouTube journey. Just getting to know him and talking to him, and he has like this beautiful soul inside of him.
I
You know,
agree.
very supportive and oozing love.
Oozing love. That's nice.
He's a good person to have on your side.
Yeah. No, he's just as loving in person as he comes across. I loved spending time with him.
I agree. I love the dry down of Tabac. So it gets powdery, you know. It doesn't. It's not. I wouldn't call it a powdery perfume, but in the base, it starts to pick up, you know, some form of powder, and I like that because it adds texture, and it adds like this smoked burnt accord, or it's just really lovely. Resins come out gorgeous, and tobacco lasts like right through the life of the perfume for me.
Mhm. It does.
All right, just change it up a little bit. I was telling, who was I telling? I might have been telling Eugene. I was telling someone earlier about Signature X, or what George was going to call it, and I sprayed it on a friend of mine, a woman in her 60s, and she smelled it and she was like, "That is absolutely fucking incredible," right? She was like, "That is amazing." She was like, "That will get you a shag." And I was like, "Right." I was like, "You're 60." And I was like, "Settle down." But she was like, "That is incredible." She wanted it. Yeah, Royale X, that's right. She was like, "When's that coming out?" She was like, "That is a naughty perfume." And
I
I was like,
can't
"Is
believe
it?"
you said that'll get you a shag. You guys actually use that word, shag?
She honestly, 62-year-old woman. And she turned around and she was like, that is incredible. That is a dirty perfume for
I
dirty
haven't
people."
heard that since Austin Powers.
Well, I mean, we use that word all the time. It's a daily driver in this country. It is. It is.
You like-
Shite as well. That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely
your
love it.
words. What else starts with a sh? Shite,
Shit.
shag.
Shite, shag, shit.
George says he's going to come on in 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
Jump on in 5 minutes.
But yes, apparently that I don't want to steal like spoil any secrets, but apparently that perfume is coming out. So if people want to be actually getting a panty dropper,
I think I have a sample of that somewhere.
A panty dropper according to a 60-year-old woman, that is apparently the one.
So it's
I've got
a brief dropper.
It could be a brief dropper, a boxer dropper.
Oh no! Wait. What is the panty of 60-year-old women called? Is it also a panty? Isn't there like a special word? Never mind.
Diaper, a diaper dropper.
Yes.
Oh,
I hope she's listening. She knows we do the stream. She knows about my channel and everything. She knows I know. She knows I come on the stream. She does watch. She's always asking if we're broadcasting. So she might very well be listening.
You know, 60 is the new 50, right?
60 is the new 40, man.
Yeah, tell yourself.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too outrageous, but yeah, I was thinking that too. Like they're really taking care of themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if I made it to bloody 60. I feel old now. Sorry.
I know. Sorry for interrupting. No, Eugene isn't going to look that great at 60 if he keeps putting that Chanel oil on his face.
Yes, that's right.
I've been using it for years, man. What are you talking about?
I can tell.
You can tell, really? Is it damaging my skin?
Probably, but no, I can't tell. I'm joking, but yeah, you know how I feel about that oil.
Honestly, that oil is the best thing I've ever found for my face. I don't know what else
Have you
to use.
ever put anything else on your face?
That's all I use.
Well, Christy agreed with me earlier in the chat, right? Yeah, there she is.
I missed it.
Yeah, no, Christy agrees. It's not a good idea.
Oh shit!
What's wrong with it? What's in it? What's offended Eva about this?
Too much fragrance. Too much fragrance, and it's probably not comedogenic. How do you say that? Like it
carcinogenic.
Comedogenic.
All right.
Yeah, it basically means that it probably clogs your pores. It's not. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't have a problem with that though. I'm not concerned.
Oh,
okay,
Jesus.
fine. Do what you want, Eugene.
I usually do. Thank you.
I know.
You know me. I don't like to follow rules or being told what to do. That's when I like to resist.
I like to resist.
I like resistance. Yes, I've got that avoidant attachment thing going on.
Apart from the perfumes, you're attached to them.
I'm very much attached to perfume, and you know, all I need in life is food and perfume, and I'd be totally content.
And 10K jogs.
I can do without those too, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, you could probably do without them.
Just become a hermit, right? Just consume perfume and food and Wi-Fi. That's all I need.
Yes, food, perfume, and Wi-Fi. Do you know in Finland, the internet is a basic human right?
It should be just like healthcare, and you know, we all depend on it and we rely on it for day-to-day functions.
We do now, yeah. We certainly do. But the Scandinavian nations have always been like more like forward thinking and that, you know. Yeah. They've got the highest standard of living in the world.
Food and Chanel over food and shelter. Yes, I like that. Food and Chanel.
Chanelta.
We can live in a bus shelter.
Well,
you'd be homeless, but at least we'd smell good.
That's right. There'll be like turf wars over which bus shelter had like the best perfume.
And we can still feed the ducks with our food.
That's why you need food, to feed the ducks, not to feed yourself. Like turkeys.
Does anybody spray perfume on their neck?
Oh, I also,
I've been known. I was
sorry.
going to say I do, yeah.
Don't
Do you,
that.
Eva?
No, no, that's a big no. Don't do
Me
that.
neither. Not because it's a no. It's just I like spraying on my chest better.
Yeah, women shouldn't do that on the chest. It's gonna give you wrinkles. And this
Wrinkly boobs.
They're gonna get
Yeah.
wrinkled anyway, aren't they?
I need to start a skincare channel. Yeah, well, yeah, sure, but we want to postpone that. No, not on the neck. The neck is very sensitive, thin skin, so
So
it
if you can't
wrinkles
spray on
easily.
the neck or the chest, where do you? I guess the hair. The hair would be a good place. Hair
No,
holds
No.
perfume really good.
no. Hair, no, it's gonna dry your hair unless you have short hair and you don't care. But if you're a woman and you have long hair and you don't want to dry it out, no, the alcohol in there is horrible for your head. That's why they have hair perfume.
That's
Oh my
right.
That's the
god,
whole reason why hair perfume exists, because normal
you're
perfume is bad.
ruining the stream, Eva.
I'm glad to do so.
So where do you spray perfume?
I have a video about that coming up after the move. Yeah, no, like I would advise not to spray too close to the nose, or you'll just become anosmic to it yourself. So if you mainly wear fragrances for yourself, then it's better to do your moving limbs and like your pulse points. Or I like spraying in the pit of my elbow. That's my favorite place.
What?
Do you want to know? Do you want to know? I had this exact conversation with Eugene today, and he said to me, "Who sprays the hands?" And I was like,
Oh,
"I do."
oh
And he
no.
was like, "Oh, I spray the back of my hands, and I spray my wrists as well."
Yeah, wrists. Back of
Let,
the hands also, no, that's an aging no, because our hands age, and no. I wouldn't
let
put
me
it.
introduce the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, George Zaharov. Where are you? We don't see you.
My Fracom husband.
What happened?
What happened? Oh, he's buffering.
Is he?
George is
I don't see anything.
George is buffering.
George, oh, come.
George is buff.
George is buff. He is buff. All right, here you go.
Ah,
Bye.
there
Hi,
was
bye. There he is. Hi, George.
Hey, Richard.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey, I love you. How is everyone doing?
Good. What's
Well,
up, George?
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
How you
We
doing?
love having you. George, where is the proper place to spray perfume?
I don't do it on my face because of the alcohol, and if you do it on your neck over time, it dries it out. But I spray it. So I do layering. I'll put either the oil. I'll do the beard oil like here, and then I'll do the lotion, and then I rub it all in, and then I spray it, and then I wait. I do another spray, and then I put my clothes on. So I just don't spray it on the neck or the face.
How about the chest?
The chest I do.
Right.
And that
You
way I
spray-
can smell it as I'm during the day. I could have it. It gets warmed up here, and I could smell it.
Do you spray your clothes?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I spray clothes as well.
Hi,
Listen,
Rich.
George.
I am.
Hey.
I find when I spray my chest, it'll end up on my clothes. So I don't spray the clothes directly. But I find the chest works best for me, especially for longevity.
Yeah, the chest because it's keeping warm and it's not
Mm.
like it's just staying in there. It's like you're cooking it. I love
Yeah,
that too.
that's a good way of saying cooking it.
And then if someone hugs you, it comes out. You hug somebody and it presses against your, and then that puff of air comes out.
That's right.
Oh yeah, if someone lifts their t-shirt. If someone lifts up your t-shirt and then the smell comes. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Go on.
Well, yeah, it's a nice surprise when you take off your clothes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I like
How about at the end of the day when you take a shower and that warm water hits your skin? Do you ever get that like rejuvenation?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I think yes. I think that do you know it's the top note? I don't know everyone knows this. The top note is that gush with the alcohol that comes up into the air when you spray, and then the middle note is during the day what you smell. But then, you know, when you throw your clothes in the washing machine, that's the flakes, the residual of the oils, and each one of them is an experience. And I love fragrance. I'm sure everyone here too. I just love every facet, every fragrance is beautiful, actually. That's my word. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's the meaning to life.
Can I ask you something, Eugene? If you're sitting there at work or something, and someone walks by and do you try to catch their scent?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't try to, but it just automatically my nose follows along. Not just at work, but wherever I go.
I'm like a little dog, like
yeah. And I'll tell you, like, there's a lot of perfumes that I dislike, especially what's going on in the designer world, where, you know, dislike is a harsh word because there's no such thing as a bad perfume. They're just our judgment, right?
Oh.
Yeah, there are biases in our judgments. We create these ideas in our head. But for instance, my kids, they wear a lot of perfumes that I necessarily wouldn't wear. Explorer, Sauvage, things like that. However, I don't mind smelling them on them. I much prefer to smell that on them than not smell anything at all.
What are the kids' ages now, Eugene?
17 and 15, and they're both, you know, they're really getting into fragrances. And I think the things that they're wearing, exactly that, Sauvage and Explorer, those are, you know, for that age group, right?
Can you imagine having a DILF as a dad? Like, can you imagine Eugene going to the high school and having all the girls be like, "Oh my God."
I don't think they look at me like that, but thank you, George.
I think they do.
I do too.
I can't read the comments because I'm on my little phone this small. But do you know my sister, my nephew was in high school, a senior, and they took my sister's picture and crapped her head onto a porn video, and they sent it to the whole school, and it upset my nephew a lot. But I'm pretty sure you showing up will get a few schoolgirls, many schoolgirls, and a few school kid boys a little excited.
Oh shit! I might end up going to jail, George. What are you doing? You're gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
And your wifey is hot too. The mother of your children is gorgeous too. She's beautiful too. You guys are a beautiful couple. Sorry.
Yeah, we were a beautiful couple. I agree. Yeah, but that's no longer. So
yeah, former ex. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to say.
No worries. It's all good. It's all good.
That's why I said your baby mama, your baby's mama. Your baby mama. But you have a 17 and a 15
and a 10-year-old.
Oh, and three kids.
Three boys.
3 boys too. Oh wow, that's so awesome.
Boys the Eugene.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Yeah, I'm also wondering what niche fragrances do your boys like?
You know, it's the little guy. He loves the challenging perfumes. So he likes, you know, when he was being carried, his mother used to wear Hypnotic Poison. And after he was born and started going to school, he was drawn to Hypnotic, where he would ask to wear 1 spray of Hypnotic to school.
Oh.
And then when the bottle ran out, he asked me to buy like his mom a new bottle of Hypnotic Poison. He's just like, he has this attachment to it. But he also likes Fahrenheit. He likes Antaeus. He loves Coco, like Chanel Coco, the original.
Outrageous.
So his taste is a little bit more refined.
Well, for his age too, imagine that. And you know what, Eugene, think about, and this is what I love the most, and this is probably some of the things I regret not having children. Think about these kids are gonna like. It's just beautiful anyway. Fragrance is culture and class and sophistication and gentlemanliness. And I just think it's awesome that these kids, your children, are gonna remember you for the rest of their lives, based on, and now your own collection of fragrances, right? And so, I just think it's awesome. And you had made a mention about designer, that you're not happy with what's happening in that space. I'm sure, I don't know, because it happens with me and my conversations with Mon, the frustration of, like, I'm almost certain, because I see it on my side, you are probably very refreshing when when your nose and the company that you're working with deals with you, because I'm sure they've said to you, because I heard from Mom that in the meetings with designers, it's about money and make it cheaper. So they'll get a scent and they'll be like, "Oh, this is beautiful. Now you need to find a way to make it, 30% less."
Yeah.
And then that's the synthetics and tweaking and doing, and it's more like a commodity, like sugar and flour.
Right.
Yeah.
Your art. This is art that we're talking about.
It is. It's human art. And I know my perfumer, he appreciates what we're creating together, because there's no team behind me. It's just me. It's him and I.
Right.
There's no designer team where everything has to go through a process or it has to be approved by many people. Right. So it kind of makes his job easier, but it also gives him much more freedom, and he's less constrained that way.
And me too. And so, yeah, that's why I think, I think in the beginning we were talking about me being a YouTuber. I think that I would like to see myself as representing the future of this business, as you are, as Rich and Eva, but you're coming out with your own line of perfumes, and a lot of people are like, "Oh no, YouTuber fragrances," but that's the only place this is going, because I'm out there, I'm traveling, I'm talking to retailers, I'm talking to wholesalers, I'm talking to factories, I'm out there in the world talking and soaking things in, and like we talked for 5 hours. I'm discussing and interacting and doing, and this is the future of fragrance. You see a Nordstrom or a Macy's, that's like a dinosaur.
Yeah, right. Everything's moving online. People don't want to leave their house. They just want to click a button.
Yep. And it's going to get worse with the metaverse, right? The metaverse.
Right.
How close do you? I was thinking about this when the metaverse came out. How close do you think smell-o-vision is? How close do you think that, like, the ability to smell things over the internet is going to become soon?
So I see it with mine, because it's fragrance and flavors. What they're trying to devise a way where you drink water, and the molecules of the scent of Coke or orange drink, where you think, because you're smelling it, that you're actually drinking a Coke or an orange, when you're actually drinking water.
Yeah.
And so it would have to be the manipulation of molecules to get smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
And I think that would be very difficult to do, because it's all molecules. Like we think.
How would they get it from, let's say you and I are discussing something now, a perfume. How would I get that sent over to you?
I think it would be impossible. If you want to look at even the business side and the intellectual property side of things, can you imagine someone putting their, that out there about the molecular structure or something, especially when you have a fragrance that's constantly changing and doing,
I think that, because what you've got to remember is that, like, all information can be encoded in ones and zeros. So that's what you need to. It's the transformation. It's not the transformation of the information. It's the transformation of like the information to, like, a chemical from information to a chemical, like, information. So it's getting. If Elon Musk succeeds with this chip in the brain, right, and like Eugene was saying it the other day on stream, how long do you think it is before everybody's getting chipped? You'll be able soon. I think within 100 years, you'll be able to buy chips that will literally upgrade, like the same way that you upgrade your computer with a graphics chip. You'll be able to upgrade your brain with certain chips in the future, and I think that's how they'll get stuff like smell-o-vision and all these other things,
shit.
into people. Like that's how they'll do it. Because everything, I mean, I know you talk about spirituality all the time, but there's a very good thing at the heart of what you say about experience, and that all experience is like in your brain. It's in your mind. It's not real. It's not out there. It's how your brain interprets it. So if you can manipulate that, if you can hack that, then you'll have the keys to being able to do basically anything you want. That is, you're only limited by your imagination then.
I have a hard time understanding how something like AI is ever going to break into consciousness.
No.
Talking about being chipped and having a chip put on your brain. How is it going to interpret? You know, everything that
because your brain just works on electrical
consciousness.
Patterns. Your brain just works on electrical patterns. That's what your brain waves are. They're just electrical patterns in your brain. Your neurons as well. You know, if you can get your neurons to fire in a certain way, that's how you lay down memory. That's how you think.
That's profound what you just said, Rich, because think about this, right? I mean, we could give ourselves, well, this is the Matrix, because we could pretend like when he was eating the steak, we could be eating steak. We could be eating, you know, we could smell, we could experience everything without actually experiencing it. But why live life then? To what means and what purpose? And how do you grow? Does someone dictate to us what our growth path is going to be? So you're right. It says, but I could see that. I mean, I could see how you would put a chip in your brain to make you think you're smelling something, because it is all ones and zeros. That's actually quite brilliant what you just said. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Do you think that's where the metaverse is heading?
I think that's what he's trying. That's his idea. Yeah.
I don't know why now. Why can't, you know, maybe not in our lifetimes or your children's, but you know what they say, as the years go by, as time passes, the rate of technology increases very quickly. And so they're saying that this here is old. Like within the next 3 years, 4 years, we are all going to be meeting in a place that this two-dimensional thing will not exist anymore.
Yeah.
And
we'll be looking back on these. I mean, if you look back 15 years to the iPhone, that was like a quantum leap. That was a huge thing. Like to go from, can you imagine going back to like your Nokia 3310, where the height of entertainment on your phone was like Snake? And that was like 15, 20 years ago. And then what's happening is that the rate of change is becoming quicker. It's exponential. It's sort of how the same way the Richter scale works, you know, like the difference between a 7 and an 8, like an 8 is 10,000 times more powerful than a 7,
right.
You know? So that's the rate at which technology is advancing.
And that's why who knows, in 5 years, you know, this could be a whole different world. But you know what? That would collapse. I mean, why would we buy clothing? Why would we go buy luxury goods? Why would we, if we're going to do everything within our home or bedroom? You know, because right now my nephew was telling me you could put a suit on and you could be literally having intercourse with somebody halfway around the world, and the suit will touch you and whoever's touching you, and even the genitalia. And so you could be having. Can you imagine that?
Where do you buy these suits?
I wonder if you can adjust the friction level.
It's all tied into you.
Can you remember? It wasn't Demolition Man? It was that film that Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock were in, and she propositioned him. She was like, "Oh, do you want to have sex?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then like they put on those two headsets. Can you remember that film? I can't remember what it was called.
The Demolition Man was the other one.
Yeah. I can't remember what this one was called. It was Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock. Give us a second. I'll look it up.
I've actually got an expert on friction in the studio here, and I can't go on because I'm being heavily distracted with visuals and imagery here. So I'm going to bring on Joey Hungus.
Joey.
I'm just here for moral support.
My little brother.
For those viewers that are new to Joey, Joey is Joey Cannoli. I am Joey Cannoli, and he is a expert in the adult sciences and with a MBA in fetish and a PhD, several PhDs in adult toys and and so on and so forth.
Gyrating, friction, all the good stuff.
I've had the pleasure of strapping on one of those devices.
Really?
I have.
Where do you buy it?
They have them at the adult conventions. They have them at adult conventions and the porn awards. They always have a bunch of stuff. I had it on because I was always interested in what it would be like to be with a man.
Here we go. This didn't take long.
I had another man use it, and it was a bit exciting.
It's okay, Joey. We had a good time, folks.
So what I'm trying to say is George has the other device, and every now and then he turns it on after a long night.
Oh, no,
and
no.
No, all jokes aside, I have tried it on, and it's very. I don't know if you guys have used virtual reality, but it's really taking over. The metaverse is real. Get ready for it, and it feels great. I mean, there's like they have vests you wear where I could hug Eugene, and Eugene would feel me press against him. So a woman with a very large bust were to press against you, you would feel the bust against your chest. Go ahead.
Is there any way we can get a third device incorporated into this?
I mean, I would like the idea of a threesome. I feel like there's a lot going on, but normally, as the man, you attach it on to your stick. I don't want to swear on your stream, and your partner could be somewhere out of the states, a couple states over in another country, and you guys could have foreplay. You guys could, you have like the video chat and you have this and that, but this really adds another level to it.
Crazy.
And you can control the speed for the woman, the intensity of the orgasm. You are in full control over everything as if you were there. It's very exciting. I don't know. To be a woman is a real treat. I really feel like from a woman's perspective, they definitely have an advantage when it comes to the vibrators and the
Do you feel like you're missing out, Joey?
I'm a little bit envious. I'm a little bit jealous. We do have a male G spot, but not many men are comfortable with exploring such things, and I feel like they should. It doesn't take away your masculinity. You're pleasuring yourself. I don't understand. The back door's a no-no zone, but they're fine with the front. What makes it not okay, Eugene? Why are we not allowed to?
Insecurity.
Maybe.
It's society. Unacceptable to talk about.
Yeah. Or they're embarrassed, right? They're shy. Maybe
Shame.
they're introverts that are
because it's considered dirty.
Well, it's a Puritan background, right? Here in North America, and we're in Europe, you'll see Denmark. Like, I had a couple late for dinner. We were with a group of people, and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we were having sex, and it took a little longer than we thought." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's awesome that you guys are that free." I mean, here we're all Puritans. We don't want to. We get embarrassed by things, right?
You should never be embarrassed.
I was fascinated with Joey because I heard, I came across something where a woman had set herself up and was doing video, and when you would tip her, the vibration, it would give her these vibrations, and visually you'd be able to see it, and the more the money. So let's say $1 would be a small donation, $10 would be a full. And I was just fascinated by the whole thing that you could have. I mean, first of all, it's keeping these women safe in their homes, right, and not on the streets, but also for how exciting is that for a man that might not be able to experience something. I'm fascinated by human sexuality and where that's going, because no matter how you see it, like, we have to eat and we have to shit, and we're all sexual beings, whether we like it or not. And those are going to be the areas, and that involves, I'm sure all of us here, because we love fragrances, we incorporate our lovemaking with scent as well.
Yeah. You could spray the fragrance on and say, hey, Eugene, this is what I smell like. And then as me and Eugene are going to climax together, he sprays my favorite fragrance in the air. And that way he's able to smell and feel me at the same time. It really adds a third dimension to everything, a fourth dimension, if you will. You really break the fourth wall there. Now it's aromatherapy, it's physical therapy, it's emotional therapy. I really think that people need to let their guard down and live their best life. And don't. You're the only person that's stopping you from having the greatest orgasm of your life. No one else is.
Eva, what say you, the therapist? What do you think about this? About society moving into something like that where there's no intimacy between two people physically?
Oh, sorry. That was...
Physically, I meant.
I don't believe that's ever going to stop. I think the virtual stuff will boost, but yeah, I don't think the actual physical contact will stop.
This is a fragrance stream.
Because it's also very cold. Because if you're intimate with someone who is 10,000 miles away for an hour, 20 minutes, and some people a couple minutes, you're still not making dinner together. You're not talking, you're not sharing, you're not hugging, that kind of stuff where forget the sex part of it, but just having someone there.
I think the traditional aspect of relationships are starting to fade away.
Mm-hmm.
People are not looking for that. People are selfish and they don't want to spend time. Time is expensive and it's an asset. People just want to use it on themselves, and to be in a relationship takes up a lot of that time. And all people are looking for is gratification. And, what's a better way to gratify yourself than sexually?
That's it. It's a very liberating thing, especially when you are giving yourself what you want, You have to, in moderation, of course. I don't know. I just wanted to say hi. I don't want to take away from anything. The Tabac is it's very, to me, it's a very sexual fragrance. There's something very it's very
My God.
Sorry, George. Is George in his boxers?
He is.
I won't show my boxers on stream. I'm very posh. Anyways,
cashmere and boxers.
Dude,
I guess
you will shit your pants on stream once.
Oh,
You did.
I think I did. I've done a lot of yeah. I think I did shit myself.
He shit himself on stream, but he won't show his boxers.
Yeah,
and he slipped in a pee-pee.
I slipped in my wife's urine live.
I can't believe you consider yourself posh. That's really interesting.
It's more of a lifestyle. It's a mentality. I don't know. Right. It's hard for me to figure out who I want to be on any given day. I'm still figuring that out. Right.
We're all figuring it out, right? It's not easy. Life's not easy. Most of us don't know who we are.
No,
I don't know who I am. Today, I'm on Eugene's stream, and I'm happy to be here. It's been a long time.
And
I'm glad you're here.
And this is a good segue for X, where Rich was talking about Royal X, where, that experience, I wanted to bottle that up. And so it's going to be a little bit off, but it's a little bit off. Hold on, I shouldn't say off. It's an olfactory experience. I created Royal X for an olfactory experience. And it's not going to be for everyone. It's going to be more like an underground fragrance, but it literally smells like a man taking a shower and doing what men do and having that muskiness, that comes out. That I said to Rich, actually, and women, I mean, Rich, you smelled the 18%. It's going to be 32%. Because I really wanted that to come across, that experience,
Hello, Rich.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
There's an echo with Rich.
Like he's in a bathroom, maybe.
We excited Rich with all of this talk.
Sorry?
We got you excited with all of this talk that you needed a private moment in the bathroom.
That's quite right.
quick release. I just wanted to say hi, Eugene. You know, it's been a while since I've been on here, and I feel like we haven't had to sit down and talk about great intellectual conversations. I mean, I love talking about fragrance. I do love fragrances, but there's just so much more, Eugene, that I feel I could get out of you, and I just really appreciate talking to you about all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I feel like we connect.
We do. I feel that too, and I'm glad that you're here. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I enjoy you very much.
There's-
I enjoy all of you.
There's no one like Eugene.
Well, there's nobody like you. There's nobody like Joey. There's nobody like Rich. There's nobody like Eva. We're all original. We're all unique. We are our own people.
For sure, but there's not a Eugene like that is, if your mind set that's in the fragrance community, that is in the forefront of the fragrance community. So, because you're very refreshing, Eugene.
Thank you.
And I was smitten with you from the moment I met you. I mean, I think the world of you. And like I said, I think that I'm excited to see what you become and how you develop and change and morph, you know, as you're on your journey too. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, we're all able to change. We're all able to grow, and I think growth comes from pain, from experience.
Yeah.
that explains it for me.
Yeah.
So what do you see in Eugene, Joey, that you said that, like, what is it about Eugene that you find like?
Eugene's very complex. I mean, we're getting one side of him right here. We're getting a part of him, which is great. I don't want to take away from that because a lot of people are here just for this. But when I look at Eugene, I see everything else. I mean, I look behind him and I see bottles, but I can't. Before I look at the bottles, I got to look at the man in front. Shout out to Michael Jackson, man in the mirror, right? I'm talking to the man in the mirror. That's Eugene. And I look at Eugene and I'm like, I want to know his story. I want to know what's going on in his head. I want to live in there. I want to live in his head for a day. I just want to see what's going on. I want to bang ideas around, have conversations. I feel like Eugene's got a lot of great knowledge to share and experiences for himself. And I find it fascinating. And I don't know. I shout outs to fragrances and whatnot, but someone says cringe. That's not nice.
I wonder why. I wonder why they feel it's cringe.
I think they're
They don't think they don't know you. That's why
they don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you that he feels. I can't help that. I'm sorry he feels that way.
Yeah. I agree. When people find something cringy, it's because they don't understand or they've never experienced something in that way. It makes them uncomfortable.
That's right.
They're not open to ideas that are different from their own.
Listen, we all have a bubble, and it's very safe to stay in the bubble. Maybe he's just in his bubble right now. Maybe one day he'll pop and he'll be ready to come out. Saying cringe is cringe. I love you, Fragrance Profile. I love your profile. I love your fragrances. Thank you. I don't know, but long story short, I do enjoy Eugene, and I like talking to him, and we've had some fantastic conversations. If anyone was here to catch them, so that's all. That's all I'm trying to say. There's no cringe here, okay? There's no cringe. Sorry, Eugene. This is your stream.
It's all right.
All right.
You know what? I like people. I like when people come on, and I like to give them the time to speak. I don't like to speak. I like to listen. I'm more of a listener. And I like to give people that space. I think everybody's got something to say, something to offer, something, we all have our own experiences and we all have something to share. And there's always somebody that can learn something from you.
Beautiful.
That's it.
And that's why I love you, Eugene.
And I love you too, George. And I love you, Joey. And I love you, Rich. And I love you too, Eva.
Love you.
I love everybody. I love everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I found in the last couple of years is love. And I've never had love before. I never understood love. I never understood like the deepest, truest meaning of love. And now I've been able to open my heart and say it that, I'm willing to give and receive love. And it's the most beautiful thing ever.
What unlocked that, Eugene, for you?
Pain and suffering.
What Was it so for me? It was finally coming. Remember, I told you about the Swiss cheese with the holes in it, and I think for me it was once I learned to love myself, which is still hard to do sometimes. It opened me up to be able to accept myself and others, and I'm very proud of the path that you've taken and how you've changed and grown, and it's just we've all been witness to it. It's incredible, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's, a little bit of a struggle. I'm fortunate I've been able to make my way out of it. A lot of people don't. They turn towards distraction from that pain. They look for drugs or sex or alcohol, anything that'll stimulate them, take them away from what's bothering them. I literally went into my pain and I faced it head on, and I sat with it for, I sat on this sofa alone, suffering and just dealing with it. And I knew once I do, I'll overcome it and I'll be able to survive and just be a different person.
Incredible.
Yeah. And we all got things, pain and suffering doesn't necessarily have to come from huge traumatic events, right? It could be just small things, and you may not even realize. You're probably too busy stimulating yourself from what it is that's bothering you.
What do you think it is that we all distract ourselves from? We all have our vices, but there's, what are we distracting ourselves from?
From not feeling loved.
The validation, right?
Yeah. And that's something you got to give yourself. And once you do, you stop distracting yourself. You stop with, the Pornhub. You stop with the drugs, the alcohol, whatever it is your vice is. You might be addicted to something and you don't even know it. The addiction to another person is probably the greatest form of addiction. You need that other person in your life. You need to be seen. You need to be heard from them. Food, Yeah. Sure, we all need to eat, but how much are we eating? Are we consuming way too much, and why? Is it to take away that pain?
We're filling the void, right? With drugs, or food, or sex, or alcohol. Yeah.
Things.
Are we not worthy of love? Exactly. Are we unworthy of receiving love? Are we afraid to be loved? We don't want to be hurt.
Right. But we're surrounded with fear, the fear of love. We're surrounded with fear every day. It's pushed on us every day in the media, on the news, on social media. That's all they bombard us with, is to make us scared. So that way you can go out and spend your money on things that are going to make you feel better. But you know what? They only make you feel better for 6, 12, 18 hours. And then eventually it's the same thing again.
Temporary fix.
They're temporary fills for long voids. And it's it's not until you actually sit with that void, sit with that pain, face it, deal with it, figure out what it is and heal it, and then fill your heart with love. Does that go away?
What do you think a lot of the fragrance addiction comes from? Where they're always buying a new bottle. It could be the most garbage $10 fragrance, but they feel they have to have it and they have to buy it. What do you think that is?
Unfulfillment,
Yeah.
unhappiness.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Feeling of unworthiness. But don't let me speak. We have a therapist right here,
Before you do that, if I may for a moment, think about this, because I think about, you get a perfume, you buy it. It starts with that, right? Or actually, you're getting excited looking for a perfume. You buy it. You go online and said, I just bought this. You share it. All of a sudden, the comments, oh, yeah, me too, whatever. It keeps going. Then I'm waiting for it to come. The excitement builds up. The UPS man comes. There you go. Bam. You do an unboxing or you post it. All of a sudden, the comments, and it's like, it's a validation. It's an excitement. It's a euphoria. And then it's, you guys, this is what it smells like. What do you think? Go on Fragrantica. I'm not me. I don't. But you go on Fragrantica. You post it on the different channels, whatever. And all of a sudden, it's okay. What's next? And so you're literally trying to chase this high.
And that never ends. It's a cycle. It's a circle. It's the circle of your life. It's the
Vicious
same way your
cycle.
mind works. Your mind is like a record player. You get up in the morning, you do the same things every single day. You think the same thoughts. You do the same behaviors. You watch the same programming. So if you're constantly doing the same things, how do you expect your life to change or be better?
It's a big deal.
True.
Someone said FOMO, and that's really it, though, right? The fear of missing out. Doesn't matter what it is, but you see someone else having something, and they look like they're happy. Well, now you want that. You don't really know why you want it. You may not even have any.
Yeah.
You may not get enjoyment out of it, but just the fact is that someone else is happy. Even for the moment, you feel that you need to be happy because they're happy.
And what we see on here versus the reality or at least I do. I idealize whatever, looking at somebody and seeing that, and you idealize it like, oh, look at Eugene, for example, right? And I'm not idealizing, I'm just saying, Eugene, I see, someone could see you, they see world-class perfumes behind you, they see a put-together man, and they probably idealize this picture that you have, the perfect life. Do you know what I mean? And that no one has that. And so
Nobody has that.
Except Jeremy.
We're all
Might
wearing a
feel
mask of some sort.
yeah, we are.
Metaphorically speaking, that is. We all wear masks. Right?
That's right.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
think
this
it's-
is, sorry, go ahead, Eva.
Oh no. Yeah, I think it's mostly to do with filling a void, or maybe the repetition of everyday life and wanting something new, and it's an easy way to break that boredom. But yeah, filling a void. Everyone's missing something. And all addiction or all buying material stuff, it's all about making yourself feel better for a second.
So
And I think
why?
fragrances are extra addictive because they have that extra pleasure aspect to it of discovering new things and smelling nice things and being so supposedly more attractive to the other sex. There's so many factors that make fragrances extra addicting above all other material things, I think.
So why are so many of us unaware of it, unaware of our patterns, our behaviors, and why do we keep doing it?
Nobody wants to think that they aren't whole. Everybody wants to avoid feeling that way. Nobody wants to admit it to themselves. That's why they always say the biggest thing to like curing addictions, admitting you've got a problem. Nobody wants to admit to themselves that they aren't whole. If you ignore the pain, it'll go away, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree, Rich. I think people feel that. I think most people know that it's an issue, but it's easier said than done, right? I don't think that many people are unaware that they have a problem. I think they know it, and they're trying to get control over it. But it's so heavy and so strong that it's easier to submit. I don't think a lot of people are oblivious to their addiction. I think they just don't want to, like you said, look in the mirror and say, "Hi, I'm Joey, and I'm a sex addict." And I think that's really what it is.
Right.
And that's the word that you say, Eugene, unaware, because there was a time, I mean, I am 12 years now sober completely. And
congratulations, George.
Thank you very much. But I think that if you had come to me and said, George, you have to love yourself. I do love myself. What are you talking about? Or, you're not aware of what you're doing. Of course I'm aware of what's happening. And because you rub, and I told my nephews and nieces this, that just because you're sitting in the front of the plane and you're flying around the world, addiction isn't prejudice. It doesn't say, I'm not going to go to him. I'm going to go to the one that's on the street that's a hobo, or I'm going to go to the one that, addiction is equal opportunity. That it'll go to wherever you call it. And it happens quickly. It happens like, it doesn't happen. It's not something that comes knocking on your door and say, oh yeah, hey, I'm addiction. Hi there, come on in. It just happens. You find yourself in that space and you're like, oh my God, I got a nasty monkey on my shoulder now.
Yeah, it's the one disease that affects everybody equally from every like sort of class and race, and like it's spread evenly across every like sector of society. Addiction. Um, it's very, very prevalent in people, just generally.
Yeah.
I think in some cultures there's less addiction, isn't there?
In
Say-
some cultures, yes, but what I mean is in a culture, within any like given culture, it will be spread evenly, is what I mean,
What do you
rather
mean?
than it be. Sorry.
What do you mean?
So it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're middle class, and it doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter if like you are like a certain ethnicity. It doesn't matter if you're a human and you live within a culture. There is a certain like possibility that you will be. There are treatment barriers. Obviously, if you're richer, you've got a lot better chance of being able to get treatment because you can pay for it and afford it. But the chances of it striking and you being susceptible to it are pretty even across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Addiction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care what color you are or what sex you are or how much money you have or what school you went to. It all affects us.
Mm.
And it's all, most of it stems from a lack of self-love or
Yep.
being unloved, coming from childhood, being ignored.
Do you know what? Do you ever hear Oprah when she said, when you have money, it just amplifies whatever you have? Have you ever heard that before?
Who's Oprah?
Oprah once said that, but like, well, no, because it was profound for me that, just because you have money, if you're not ready for it, it'll just magnify your issues. And, and for me, it was, you indulge, and I think it just stretched out the, yeah. So, I mean, and what changed everything was really having to go back and do the work because I was sick and tired of it.
Do you know how painful that is, George? I
Yeah.
don't need to tell you, but
Yeah.
to open up those wounds, it's extremely painful. And there's a lot of shame and guilt. And even these, thoughts that only weak people go to therapy or work on themselves. But, there's nothing that's so opposite from the truth. You need to be extremely strong and
Right.
to go back into that place.
And I think I'm being very open because the one thing that I maybe someone, out there is that there is peace of mind for you out there if you go after it. That if you have, or at least for me, I was wondering, now I got this nasty, monkey on my shoulder. For me to get over it now, it's going to be all this work. And oh my God, I wish I would have been 15 years or 20 years, because having an addiction is a time waster. It wastes time, resources, mental, emotional. It takes its toll on relationships. And so that's why for me, it's not even an option anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think about it, I'm like, I don't even have the time to waste anymore on something like this, And so, but to live peacefully and have that peace of mind, it's out there for everyone. It really is. And it doesn't matter your financial or it's your health and your peace is the number one thing. And another thing, I know with Oprah, but she said to people that when whoever comes into her office has to be mindful of the energy that they bring to her office. And that's what I do now. Like, if you're going to come into my world, I need to have you bring me peace. We could discuss anything. We could get through it together, but drama and this, I can't do it. I don't have it in me anymore for that. I need to have peace around me.
If you're going to come into my life, you need to make it better, not worse, sort of thing.
Yep.
Because energy is heavy.
Yes.
I want to say to everybody out there listening, if there's anybody in a bad place that's really struggling in their life right now, please don't give up.
That's right.
You're loved. Somebody out there loves you, and don't forget that. And just I know it's difficult and it's hard, but depression can, you can overcome it it takes a lot of work, but it's well worth it, and you can change your life around.
Yeah. And the times where I was picking myself up is the times where I learned the most, I grew the most, and it sucks. It's awful to go through something like that, but looking back, I realize, how much strength we have within ourselves, and as long as you have your health, everything else is negotiable. And so that's how I live my life.
Absolutely.
Anyway, love you guys.
Love you.
And you are loved.
Love you, Eugene. Rich. Eva.
Oh my God, I wish I could hug you guys, even if it was virtually.
The whole room.
We should get a suit, Eugene.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can order one. Click buy now.
Thank you for having me, everybody. I'm going to let you guys go.
See if I can order one.
Whoops.
Click buy now.
Cheers. I just pressed the volume up on my other phone.
There you go.
Love you guys.
Love you all.
All right,
Thank
George,
you
thanks
for
for hanging out with
having
us. I appreciate you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Georgie.
I hope I didn't bring the mood down with the conversation, did I?
I don't think you did. I think it opened up a window to a lot of people. There's like I was saying, you can learn something from everybody, and there's got to be somebody out there struggling with something, and hopefully they can take something out of this.
That's right.
Right.
Jeremy has an interesting comment.
Jeremy Fragrance is here?
Hinsy.
Oh, what's up, Hinz?
Hinz.
I think it was Heinz, like the ketchup.
Well, Heinz was struggling, and he came out of it with the help of Perfume, and everyone here, straight up. Thank you.
I think there's a cure or something that has helped me to cut down a lot on buying fragrances is trying to be more mindful about the whole process. Mindful about what I want, what I buy, don't buy immediately. And also just applying fragrances mindfully. And
even take a few days to think about it. And then, you do forget about it. You will forget about it.
Yeah.
Or you
exactly.
change your mind, or you find something else that you're interested in.
And if you don't forget about it, then maybe you can get it. But just the whole process of just being more aware and interested and open-minded about what you smell, trying to really analyze it. That's a very mindful thing in itself.
So you say be aware, but how does one become more aware?
Focus, training that focus with meditation, for example. And there's lots of different. Yeah, you meditate. I'm all for mindfulness. I teach mindfulness, but it's basically the same principle. Whatever type of meditation you do, but it's all about just gentle focus.
Eva, when you look at me, do you see a gentleman?
Yeah, you are a very gentle man, a very gentle, sexy man.
Oh, jeez.
I see two sides to Joey. Oh, where did he go?
Thank you. I got nervous. Go on.
He's a teddy bear.
You can tell a lot about just listening and watching a person. But I feel like Joey's got a big heart. I think he's got an open heart, and he's accepting of people regardless of if they're different from him, if their thoughts are different than his. He's open to the different opinions without judgment. That's one thing I've been able to appreciate, and just watching you over the past few years.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You have this edginess to you. You're funny and you're loved, and you like to joke around, and sometimes you don't show that sensitive side, but I know it's always there. I know it's always lurking behind. I think you're quite thoughtful.
The beast in me is caged by frail and fragile bars.
Oh, Joshy.
Johnny Cash.
Sense, Josh. That was a gripping message.
Yeah, let's see that message.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, I think these streams have been a big help for us through COVID and the loneliness for a lot of people. Definitely. You've done a lot, Joey, for people.
Thank
A
you.
lot.
It's done a lot for me as well. It's not one-sided.
I
I think
know.
it's very important to all of us. I'm only human after all. Sun to soul. That's right. Don't put the blame on me. Sorry.
And Ron is right. He says scolding empty and Larry helps in not buying fragrances. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes when I talk to Larry and Ron and I say, "Oh, I want to buy this fragrance," they say, "No, don't buy. You just bought a house. Stop buying fragrances." And then I listen sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
Does it help hearing from somebody else, like as a reminder?
Yeah. Like, no, you have enough. Don't you have enough fragrances? You just bought a house. Oh yeah. I remember now. I should probably not spend too much right now. Yeah.
Like how many more times you want to buy another house, right? You're always going to buy another fragrance, but you should celebrate this milestone and appreciate it and value it instead of being like, all right, let me get 5 more fragrances. Be like, hey, I got a house to put these fragrances in.
There you go.
Well, recently, what did I say? I said, well, at least I'll smell good, even if I'm homeless. If I lose the house and I'm homeless, at least I'll smell good.
That's true. I mean, fragrances are so expensive. I mean, even if you sold them all, I don't think anyone would be homeless, right? Anyone can afford a box car and a jug of wine with a bottle of Javoy. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna go make myself a drink.
Ooh. Sorry, the echo.
Hang on. What do you need to distract yourself from, Joey? Is it just to enjoy the drink, or is something coming up for you?
I think it's just to enjoy the drink amongst friends.
Nothing.
Celebrate.
So nothing's coming up for you?
Thanksgiving's been on my mind heavy.
Something happened?
No, I'm just very hungry, and I'm just really looking forward to the mashed potatoes and pecan pie. It's just one of them things, Eugene. It's just one of them things. It's a good escape down the mashed potato river with the gravy, and I'm just really looking forward to Thursday. No, all jokes aside, yeah, I'm pretty sad, Eugene. It's like it's a hard time of the year when you lose someone around the holidays. November and December kind of shit.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But I think that's common for a lot of people. Whenever there's been a lot of tragic, a lot of heartbreak this year for me. So it's like I don't really care about the holidays. That's why I'm here right now to talk about,
Right. I know your dog passed away, Holly.
Oof.
Sorry about that.
Oof. Yeah, that wrecked me. Yeah, that wrecked me.
Jordan lost his dog earlier this year.
Big rips to Piccolo. Yeah.
And Chuchu's mom.
Right.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, it's just one right after another. But no, nothing's coming up. I'm just here. I'm just taking it day by day. But I am legitimately thinking about Thanksgiving. That wasn't a joke. So
you guys are celebrating tomorrow?
Thursday.
It's this week,
Thursday.
right?
And I know you're
last month.
A month ago. It was a month ago for
Yeah,
Canada.
it's fucked up how that's different. Like
That's
we all share the same Halloween, we share the same Christmas.
Yeah. Not Thanksgiving. Nope, not that. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Hungry Man. I don't know if they have those in Canada. They have like a nice turkey spread with the cranberries.
Hungry Man, is that like packaged dinner?
It is. It is. There's like a Hungry Man XL though, where it comes with some turkey, some gravy,
right,
some cranberries. And I think I'm gonna enjoy that. We could do it. Yeah, we're gonna do a Friendsgiving Thursday night. I'm probably gonna do that. Turkey's very expensive, and it ends up going to waste anyways. I'm not a turkey guy. One slice and I'm content.
Turkey's dry as fuck too.
Yeah,
It is fucking dry, huh?
If you don't know how to cook it, it turns into a shoe.
Yeah. And who eats shoes, right? Nobody
Not
wants
me,
to
man.
eat shoes. Not me. Yeah, I don't like turkey, but I do like the stuff in.
You know what I like though is the brown meat. I'm a sucker for brown meat.
I also enjoy the blacks. I
Brown?
enjoy the. I do like the dark meat, as my dad would say when we would drive by certain areas. I enjoy it a lot.
Oh, brown meat.
Brown meat. You got the white. The white's too dry though, Eugene. You're right.
It's
The
very
white
dry,
is
yeah.
The white is dry. White people.
Is it?
Mm.
It is.
Not
But
all white. No.
Well, most. Let's be honest.
Don't be
Most of
racist.
it is, but the dark
It's
meat
not
always.
good unless you pour a lot of gravy on there.
Yeah, I want to be the gravy to your turkey, if that makes sense. You know, that's what I want to be.
Right. I do like stuffing though.
I love stuffing.
Oh.
Since I was
The verb or the noun?
I think a lot of my sexual addiction came from my mother letting me stuff the turkey at Thanksgiving. I think that's when I really got my hands in the holes. And I love it when the stuffing's warm and the turkey just thawed out, and it's a contrast of warm and hot. And I like getting my hand. You know, when I was a boy, my hand could fit. Now I have these huge
mitts.
hands, mitts, just bear claws. And when I get in there, it's a struggle. I use gravy as the lubrication to get in the turkey so it doesn't hurt. And I get in there, Eugene.
What would you be doing in there?
I'm taking out all of my aggression from the year. And every time I shove my fist in there, I have a handful of stuffing and I'm releasing everything that I've been bottling up. And I just let it go. And I feel that.
What's made you the angriest?
Oh, jeez. Well, I think it started with it being a young boy.
Were you loved? Did you grow up in a loving house?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I was loved. I just thought there'd be more.
Right.
You know, I thought there was more, but
how would you describe love?
complicated, hard. It can be depressing. It can be the most beautiful and the most excruciating thing all at the same time. Love is complicated. Love isn't like the movies. Love isn't like a good romance fairy tale. That's not what love is. Love is blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice. Love is late nights, long days, patience. Love is kind. Love is vicious. You know, love is
All around us.
it's all around us. I think love is sacrifice. I think that's what real love is. Putting someone else before yourself.
Being
That's love.
mindful, being thoughtful.
Yeah.
It's not just the word, is it? I love you isn't enough.
Yeah, you
It
need to
needs to
show
be
it.
followed up by actions.
Exactly.
Maybe that's it.
And all of you show so much love. Someone someone says it's cringe again. I think is this a Scandinavian thing to
Is
not
it the
get
same person? I didn't see
It is. I think they don't get the our weird sense
You know
of
what? Maybe they don't love in Scandinavia the same way they do in the rest of the world.
Shame on him.
they have a
Oh,
pretty-
yes, it is. It's the same guy. Cringe.
Yeah.
I think
You know what? That's a fucking trigger for you, dude. I would look into that. Go to therapist and ask them, why does love bother me? What are these feelings?
well, let's
know,
analyze this photo, Eugene.
We're just pulling these feelings out of you. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're a mirror to your cringy feelings.
No, I think I'm gonna stereotype for a second. Scandinavians have hard shells. They're not mushy. They're not a mushy type.
Eva,
And
I
they're-
think whatever ethnicity you are, people are, they know how to love. It's something ingrained in each and every one of us. And even if you haven't been shown love, you could be rehabilitated to love. That's one thing that we all have in common is
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, how can we rehabilitate you never smelled? Never smell, is it never smelled tits or never smelled it?
I think he's never smelled tit.
That might be why he's lacking love.
It's
Yeah.
never smelled a
Smells
tit.
tit.
Maybe he wasn't milked as a child. Not milked, breastfed. I think a lot of it starts as a child. I think never smelt it has a lot of maybe he's cringe. Maybe he finds his life is cringe and he's trying to he's trying to make up for the lack. Something's missing inside of him. As you see, he's holding what is that he's holding? Is that a plug? I can't actually see that, Eugene. What is that?
I don't know where he went. Hang on a second here.
We're not done with you just yet, Chief. What is that he's holding? Cup of cringe?
Maybe a
What is
vape.
You know, it looks like a drink. You
Yeah,
notice
it could be a
he's no one
beer.
with him. There's nobody with him in the picture. He's alone. and he's trying to make up for it with the drink.
Right, with a
And I think
distraction. He's distracting himself from the lack of love in his life.
Yeah, he's projecting his own insecurities and disappointments onto us. You notice he's toasting us, but none of us are here for him. And I think it's lonely. I think he's lonely. I think he needs.
You know what he needs is validation. Never
We're
smelt
getting-
it. I love you. You're
That's
loved.
good. Yeah, I love you too.
I'll be honest, I don't love you, but I have love for you. I want you to win. I want you to be a better person. But I also want you to put away your cringy ways.
You know what, though, Joey? Honesty is love.
Isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's hard. It's an honest.
Even when it means you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, it's showing love. Because
I'm
hopefully
doing this
they
'cause I
can learn
love you.
something from it.
We're doing this because we love you.
You're loved. He says you're exactly right.
I think we had a breakthrough moment.
Never smelt it. Why don't you come on stream?
Yeah, I'd like that. I'll even take my glasses off and look him in the eye and ask him who hurt you. Because that's what it's all about.
Come on
Someone
stream.
hurt-
Never smelt it. Oh, look. We're getting, he's reciprocating the love. I love you too.
That's
Look at that.
nice.
Broke through the fourth wall.
moment. Breakthrough moment.
I feel love in the air.
He seems blonde. Are you blonde? I like a Scandinavian blonde.
There you go. We can maybe possibly make a match tonight.
Plenty of fish. It's a good raspberry. When I was a boy, I used to blow on bellies. Like a raspberry on a belly. It used to bring me a lot of joy. And I think that's what we need to just we need to have our raspberry in life. Just to say, hey, don't take it so serious. It gets better. It's not cringe. Does that make sense? Do you know what a raspberry is?
No.
Okay, well,
Like the fruit, or is it another sexual anal?
no, it's not sexual at all. No. It's when that's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it could be. I do like that idea though. The raspberry. What is that? What does Rich think about this gentleman? Never smelt it.
I've never seen it. I don't know who Never Smelt It is, but hello.
See, we acknowledge you. All of us here have acknowledged you. What's the next step? How do we grow? How do we continue this? How do we move on from this?
I think just
Oh,
by
they're not
helping
asking me. I haven't
people
got a clue.
or opening their eyes is a start.
Yeah.
Who is Iva?
It must be you.
Yeah. Weird. Iva. What was Rich saying?
I don't know. What was I
Okay.
saying?
I don't. Mike V cracks me up. Fun guy or girl.
Yeah. I
So
guess
Joey,
he's-
you were saying like you grew up in this loving home, but you had some anger, you had some, some issues. What was it that was troubling you? What was bothering you the most? Like when you were fisting that turkey, what was on your mind? What were you trying to get out? Like what were you
if
you could have anything in that moment when you're fisting that turkey, what was it you wanted? Was it just to be heard?
a sweet relief, a release. I was looking for a healthy way to blow off steam, and I knew when my hand entered the turkey that I was entering a place that frightens me, a place that intimidates me, a place that I shouldn't be. It's not every day you spend stuff in turkey. Nor most people, this is once a year. And I think it was the anticipation that I waited all year to do this. And every year I do this. And then I reflect on the year and I go, what's changed? What's come? What's gone? What's happened to me? Am I the same person stuffing this turkey? The person that fisted the turkey last year is not the person fisting the turkey this year. And then I spiral. I go on this tangent. It's a bit of anxiety, if you will. I start snowballing, just one thing after another. And then the turkey, I feel the stuffing start to get cold. And I realize I've been sitting there for 20 minutes with my hand fisted up this turkey's ass. And I think to myself, you know, do you want to eat or do you want to starve in this world? And that's really what it's all about. You're either hungry. What, Eva?
Oh, sorry. I was. I wish you were my patient. I would have so much fun with you.
He'd be like the dream patient, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Like a university professor's dream student.
Exactly.
There's
I've
just
watched a lot of Goodwill
way
Hunting.
in there.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna see myself out.
No.
No, I just
I'm
It's not-
sorry if we hit a nerve, Joey. That's not what we
no.
intended
It's
to
not
do.
my stream.
No, it's good. I'm enjoying you very much. I mean, I'd rather talk about this than, perfume all the time.
God, you know what? You're right on that. I just
You're a lovely human being. You have a lot to offer.
thank you. See, that's the validation that it just sent zaps through my whole body and
You get a little hit of dopamine there.
just one hit.
All you need is just that little bit, right?
Got my
Just a little
fix.
tingle.
And you didn't have to spend any money.
Yeah.
You didn't need to hurt yourself.
No,
And that's how you share love.
this is a safe place. I feel like you guys all appreciate and like me, so I know that I'm amongst people that care. Yeah.
You're very much
Maybe-
loved.
Maybe I shouldn't do the turkey this year. Maybe that's what I need
Yeah,
to
take
let
a
go,
break.
change. Let someone else get their hands in there. I've had my hands in enough holes. I think that's.
Give the turkey a break.
I think I should give myself a break, and I think in doing that,
Do you think though by letting go of the turkey, you'll find something else to put your frustrations out on?
probably I'm not a perfect man.
You'll
If it's
find
not
something else to stuff.
exactly, it's just there's a lot of pies lying around. It's just a lot that I can destroy with my hands and with my body, and I don't want to destroy anyone else's happiness. And I think that's what it is. I think I get in this mentality, this mindset where it's I'm so involved in my own head that I don't sit and realize that other people have their own issues going on. It's not always about me, and I need to accept that I'm not the only person in the room. Everyone's got a purpose. Someone could be mashing the potatoes. Somebody could be just deviling the eggs. Is that a thing? I'd rather hear you talk about heritage.
Heritage.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Is it hard to have a serious conversation? Are people afraid of their feelings? Do they not want to face their own demons?
I think
Do
a
you
lot
like-
of people don't know who they are. And that's what distraction is all about, is avoidance.
What are you running from, right? Not literally running, but what are you running from?
No, they are,
Themselves.
figuratively running from their problems.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they think they're the center of the universe.
Hey, we're all the centers of our universe, aren't we? It's only when we no longer see ourselves as the universe that we actually see there's an entire Milky Way in front of us. Yeah. A galaxy, if you will. Samsung. I have a special purpose, Steve Martin, the jerk. Yeah. Distraction only works for so long.
I think it works as long as until you fix it, until you become aware of it.
That's true. We should have streams where we all sit down and break bread, as they say, and eat a meal together and just talk about what's going on in our lives. I think it'd be very healthy.
You know what, Joey? I don't think Fragcom's ready for that.
No, they're not.
They're more comfortable talking about other people than themselves. It's easy to look outside. It's so fucking easy to point a finger at other people and judge them than to look inside of yourself and share that. Share your fears and your vulnerabilities.
You're right. We have all the answers to everyone else's problems.
Right.
Except our own.
It's difficult to look in the mirror.
Oh, that's why I don't have any. Just, I don't even like seeing myself in a reflection of a mirror. You know, I have that idea of the horror movies. I don't know if you watch a lot of movies, but they look in the mirror and they look away and the person's still looking at them. I feel that. I feel like my inner self is saying, hey, look at me, acknowledge me. And I won't look. I don't want to look. I'm afraid to look.
But isn't it crazy that you'll never be able to see your own face the way I can see you? Like you can see yourself in a reflection, in a mirror, in a picture, but you'll never be able to see your own face.
Yeah.
You can see everybody else but yourself.
Yet you spend the most time with yourself in your mind, in your head.
Right.
It's weird because the person that you look at in the mirror that's looking back at you is not the person that you see, that Eva.
Right. And when you're alone with yourself, what are you saying to yourself? What are you thinking about? What kind of conversations are you having with yourself? How do you treat yourself?
Sometimes I appreciate the person I see and I go, look at you, still here through it all. You know, I look at the lines in my face. I look at my hair, you know, the grays.
How are you taking it?
It's a beautiful thing. I'm not someone that likes change, but time waits for no man. I hope I age like a fine wine. I hope as I get older, I love the person in the mirror more. Huh?
Mike.
Oh.
If you're two-faced like most of Fracom, can you see your own face?
You know, Target had mirrors that made you look 15 pounds lighter, and I didn't like that.
It's like false advertising.
They, you know, I look really good in this blouse, so I buy it and I go home and I look in the mirror and one, I'm a man. Why am I wearing a blouse? And second, this doesn't fit me. I don't know.
It's like they have those really good mirrors at clothing stores, and the lighting is always perfect, and whatever you put on looks great.
You're right.
You come home and you put it on, you look like absolute shit. You're like, what?
I look like stuffing. You know, I look like Thanksgiving.
I look like Joey's got his fist up my ass, right?
It's, you know, demon to some, angels to others. That's how I look at it. Caboose. I'm a man. But you're right. You know, people think I'm being funny, but I'm hitting them with all these nuggets of truth, and they don't like that. You're right. The lighting, the mirrors, everything is made to make you look the way you want to look.
To make you feel better.
Make you feel better because they know that you're full of it.
They know that people want to avoid pain and they just want to consume to feel better. That's all humans want. They want to avoid suffering and they want to feel better about themselves, and they'll do anything to get that.
That's true.
Eugene should also be a therapist. Eugene and Joey should both be therapists.
I'd love to watch Joey at his therapist. I don't know if Joey goes to therapy, and it's none of my business.
I went to church once.
Once, yeah. Did you get diarrhea or something and never went back?
No, I realized that the messages were nice, but the people there weren't, and then I didn't feel like I belonged. I never feel like I belong.
Isn't that the case where most communities are, though?
Right. It's not just Fracom, it's the world. You know, we could be in the
reflection of society.
Yeah. You got to go where you're loved.
And where's that?
Well, you got to find a group of like-minded individuals that not only understand you, but they want the same thing. Therefore, they understand where you're coming from at that moment in your life. You know, we all want to grow. We all want to be with one another. We need human connection. We need connection. We need validation. We're so needy. You notice I'm throwing all these N-words out, not the bad one, but all these N-words I'm throwing out there.
Right.
And it's need. Why are we so needy? What is it that we're looking for? I don't know. Love.
We all want to be loved.
Admiration, acceptance.
Well, let me ask you, like, what is it like when go back to when you first met Juju? What did that feel like when you were, when you were seen, when you were heard, when you were felt? What did that
Yeah.
feel like?
It's the
Wasn't it
great-
magical?
It's the greatest high in the entire world.
Right. Because we can't give it to ourselves. We're looking for it from another person.
Yeah. And guess what? I married that person
Right.
because I always get that. I always have that. It's a special bond. She gives me something that I'm lacking. And in return, I feel like I do the same for her. And that's why it works. It's the greatest high on earth. No one will understand until they're there. You had to have been there. That's it.
It is. There's no feeling like it to be
Yeah.
filled from the love of another person,
Oh, yeah.
to be validated, to be seen, to be heard. Somebody's paying attention to you. Somebody's asking about your day.
They care. And that's all it is. It doesn't even have to be a spouse. It could be a friend, a genuine friend,
Right.
a true friend, someone that understands you, someone that takes enough time to have an idea of who you are.
Somebody that
Someone-
listens
It's someone that listens, right?
without judgment or trying to
Exactly.
give you advice.
Right. I'm still gonna love you regardless of what I think. That's what a friend is.
That's what love is.
That's what love is.
I can hear you and I can accept you and I can continue loving you without judging you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the highest form of love, to accept you for who you are without
100%.
judgment.
Yeah. We're all searching for the same thing, but we're all on a different race, right? We're all racing, we're all playing a different game, but the end game is always the same. We all go out the same way, you know? Makes you wonder, what are we doing?
Wasting time. Looking for things.
Yeah.
Guys, my internet is acting up, so I'm gonna hop off, and I also want to go to sleep soon. So
I'm gonna go have a good cry session.
Have
It was a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to join you
Aw.
guys on the
Yeah,
stream.
sure.
Eugene, Mitch, it was a pleasure. Eva, I know who you are.
Pleasure.
Love you, Joey.
I love you all.
Love you, Joey.
Thanks for coming on, bud.
So long, Eugene.
And there he goes.
Okay, my internet is going. I'm gonna go. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eva.
Bye.
Richard,
Eugene.
how are you feeling? Eva's still here.
Hello.
I'll remove her before something quirky happens. We don't want that. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just having a bit walkabout, trying to get my legs to start working.
What did you think about that?
Isn't it strange what people say when you take them out of their element? Like Joey's like on another stream, and like when Joey's on his own stream, he's in charge. He's in like, he's like the ringmaster, the circus leader, you know what I mean? He's the one. I'm picking all the wrong analogies there, but you know what I mean.
No, I
He's
know
the
what
one
you
in
mean.
charge.
But do you think that's his true mask? And I don't mean that in the facetious way.
I know exactly what you mean by mask. You ever heard of social mask theory?
Right.
Social mask theory is basically what you were saying there. Everybody wears a mask.
What you want other people to look at you like or think of you.
Not even that. It's more more profound than that. It's more social mask. Like people who wear masks, it's not what they want you to see. It's what they don't want you to see.
Ah, what they're hiding.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to take.
That's why people carry so much shame and guilt, and they don't want to be exposed. That's what shame and guilt is all about, is hiding things, and that turns into lying and controlling and manipulating and all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah. Oh. Excuse me. I'm just taking some tablets.
No, but I like having Joey on and having these conversations once in a while. He
Yeah.
gets me, he gets me going, and he gets my mind thinking, and it's good to hear from him. I like this side of him. I like his, his other personas as well, but
I know what you mean. Maybe he comes here to do that. Maybe he just wanted to get that out, Maybe he likes,
like he knows he might get that here.
I think he does. Yeah, he's not stupid, Joey. I remember having this conversation with somebody who didn't like Joey not a long time ago, but a while back. They were saying lots of things about Joey, all the usual stuff like, oh, it's fucking ridiculous, it's this, it's that, it's the other. I was like, Joey's not stupid. And I was like, fucking Joey knows, and Joey's aware. Joey is aware.
You can hear it in his words.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not stupid at all, like. It sounds like as he's getting older, and this time of year as well, I know exactly what he was saying when he says this time of year is not a happy time for a lot of people. Because I feel like that. I hate this time of year. And it's I think he must be feeling a little introspective.
Yeah, I feel
that's why. Yeah, I think that he wanted to come on and come somewhere he knew where he would be listened to and not ridiculed or not had the piss taken out of how he felt.
And that's what love is, listening to somebody without judging them. And I hope, after coming on here for an hour or so, he left feeling better about himself.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted to push those, not buttons, but, push that side of himself out and expose it to the light, as you do. Right. Every once in a while, you want to shine a bit of light on the dark. Every once in a while, stop you feeling like you're the only one. That's why a sense of community is extremely important for human beings. Which is why you'll find I like listening when people are like that. Which is why you'll notice I wasn't saying very much during that. I like to let people just speak and let it come out, and they will come out with what they want and what they're comfortable with. I don't like you take a different perspective, which is if we were both doing the same thing, if you weren't saying anything and I wasn't saying anything, then it would have been bad. And if we were both asking questions at the same time, that would have been like not ideal either. So it's nice to have that sort of push and pull, that sort of you can ask somebody something, but you can also just sit and somebody can just speak, and maybe that's what you get enjoyed from that, I don't know, because if you go on Joey's channel and you listen to his streams, and I do, except when the fucking gimp's on, then you'll hear Joey's doing that for other people. Joey will ask loads of questions of other people. I think Joey struggles to sit in silence. You often say, sorry, I'm cutting you off, but how you often say you like to just sit and think and feel, sit in the feelings, sit in those moments and discover what. I think Joey really struggles with that, to sit in silence. And I think when he comes on stream, when he talks in real life, he's got not a motor mouth. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he can talk a lot. He's never short of something to say. Yeah, he's never short of something to say. So I think to me that indicates, if I step back from that and look at it from the outside, in that he is trying to stop himself from sitting and feeling and thinking in his own mind. If his mind's constantly active, constantly going, that means he doesn't have to sit and think and feel. And he's had a lot. He's had a lot to deal with this year. He's had a fucking horrible year. And it's at the end of the year now, which is always a time for introspection and retrospective sort of things, and looking back on. And it's been a fucking It's been a tough year for Joey and Juju especially. But they're in it together now, and they've got each other.
You know what I think? I think
Go on.
people give to others what they want for themselves.
Yes.
And when you go on Joey's streams, he's always looking to talk to somebody. He's looking to interview somebody. He asks a lot of deep questions, trying to pull things out of people that they would never necessarily say on their own. And I think maybe he came here, to get the same done to him.
Yes, that's exactly what I've just said. Or tried to say. I think Joey has come here looking for some
love.
Yes, that. But not just love, like someone just to listen to, someone who will just sit and listen to him,
Right.
and not necessarily try to provide answers, just like sit there and just be like, just speak, because sometimes that's just all you fucking need,
Right.
somebody who will just sit and listen as you speak.
And as you speak, you can almost answer your own questions or your own thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. There's a world of difference between thinking and speaking, because once you speak it, it becomes much more real and it's tangible and you can fucking feel it. It's different from when you say things out loud, when you hear somebody say, that didn't scan at all like how I thought it was gonna, like how I thought it was gonna come out, it sounded better in my head. Right. Loads of people say, like,
in a scandalous way.
Yeah, exactly. No, like when people say something and they were like, "Oh, that sounded better in my head than it did," like when I said it out loud.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's a similar principle, right? It's a similar principle. It's that when you say something out loud, it is a different thing to when you just sit and think about it. That's why it's the same principle as when somebody comes up to you and asks you, "Can I just run an idea by you?"
That's right.
It's like, can I just bounce something off you? You know what I mean? And somebody could say, no, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. And somebody else could say, no, that's a brilliant idea. It's nice that we're social animals. Humans are social animals. And it's very important that you don't let yourself become isolated and you don't let yourself. So for me, him coming on here, I think is a nice change of pace for him. He's not the one who is like depended on to be the be all and end all of the stream, and he felt like he was part of like something else, A change is as good as a rest. I imagine he gets a different feeling from coming on here and talking than he does from on his own streams. I think show a different side of himself, and maybe he wants to explore that as he's getting older.
What do you think of this comment from Gainsmaster? Guys who get too emotional, I don't trust.
It depends. It depends about how you mean too emotional. People who just come out and dump their fucking, and like people who like you've never met before, just come up to you and they just dump everything onto you. I get it. I understand that.
We have to define emotional here first.
Yeah, it's like I mean, fucking hell. Like, I mean, like if you've just like if a man comes up to you and they're like a bloke you've known your entire life, you've known him since school, you're really close friends with him. He comes up to you and he says, "My mother's just passed away," and starts crying. Right. That's not someone getting too emotional, that is completely within context, absolutely spot on. But if a bloke comes up to you and you've never met the fucker before and he says, "Oh, my tire's flat," and starts crying, do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's like what's this person fucking doing? You know what I mean? You gotta stay the fuck away from us, you fucking lunatic. Have you got a knife? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening?
Right. Having a breakdown over something so small, right?
Exactly. So it's about context. So it would depend. Gainsmaster or Gazemaster? I don't know.
Gains.
One of them. Yeah. I would just have to. I would have to take that. I would have to take that as it came. You know. I'm not actually looking at the chat. I'm in bed.
In your pit.
I'm in my pit. I'm not actually looking at. Oh, sorry about that. I've got me fucking.
Do you have your biscuits tonight?
No, I've got no biscuits. The outrageous biscuits.
Y'all out of biscuits?
They're all eaten. I'll tell you what. I went downstairs at one point, and I was gonna get something to eat, and I was gonna get something. I was gonna get something to eat, and then I thought you were gonna fucking say something, so I decided against. You were gonna like say something to me, and I was like, oh shit, I can't be eating. Like if I've got to like say something quick, do you know what I mean? So I like fucking denied myself a slice of bread. I fucking that's me sacrificing for the stream. It's too late to eat now. It's like 20 to 1. Is there something you're not telling us? Something about I am Joey Canoli, Game Master. Oh shit. Joey Canoli's still listening.
I'm not sure what I missed, but if you're too shallow to show emotion towards people you love, I agree with that.
I think it's I think if you can't show emotion, like it's one of those things you've got to strike a balance, you know what I mean? You can't go around just being like an emotional wreck all the time and like showing everybody oh yeah, exactly, yeah, but at the same time you can't go around being like a cold-hearted fucking like standoff aloof fucking lunatic all the time either, you know. It's about like fucking balance and like getting the right balance.
You need to be able to express your feelings in a way that your partner understands who you are and where you're coming from. And if you can't,
it's not just your partner. It's not just your partner.
We're talking about he's mentioning something about a relationship here. Okay, anybody, you got to be able to express yourself, and when you can't, you start hiding things, and that only leads to a deteriorated relationship. You know, you start bottling stuff up and you start to explode for no reason. And the person doesn't know why at the end of the day you're blowing up for.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a place of not being able to express yourself.
No, I would agree. It's because stuff tends to boil over as well. It tends to, like, if you keep everything in, that's not like normal. But if you let everything out, that's not normal either.
Right? Yeah, it's got to be a balance.
Exactly. I think there has got to be a balance. Somewhere there's a difference between being stoic and just being an arsehole. That's true as well. Center Salt. It's yeah, there is a balance to be struck, you know. Because you've got to remember, you've got to fit into fucking society, which means give and take as well, you know. But also, like you've got to take into account for other people. Like other people are like hardly anybody's on the same wavelength.
Right.
I'm not eating biscuits. I wish I was eating biscuits. If I was eating biscuits, I'd tell you. I like a biscuit. I like a biscuit at bedtime. It's like quite a nice bedtime sort of thing, isn't it? A biscuit. I get some milk and a biscuit. I had some Cocoa Pops tonight. If that like interests anyone.
I'm not a cereal kind of guy.
Really?
I feel like if I don't eat meat, I haven't eaten.
How strange. I get you though. I
need to bite into something. I need to tear something with my teeth.
Turkey and how turkey's too dry. I don't like
turkey. Piece of meat.
I don't like turkey. Jura Rose said earlier in the chat that they wanted to come on one day. I don't know if you saw
absolutely.
Them. I don't know if you saw that. We should have them.
No, I didn't see that. I missed it. But
yeah. Jura Rose said they wanted to come
on. Sure, we're not hard. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you on sometime. Pick your brain. And I'm
Jura Rose, the do a biscuit. The Awake has got biscuit in it. I put on the chocolate one again tonight, and I'm not as keen as I was yesterday. This is why you should never judge a fragrance by your first impressions. You should try them. Try them.
Madonna's lost the plot lately, but she was great. I think, she's always pushing boundaries and she's always reinventing herself.
I think Madonna knows what works.
Yeah, usually it's something sexually or.
Well, the thing is with Madonna, I didn't know this about Madonna. Her mother died when she was like 5 years old, and her father brought her up like a really strict Catholic.
That's right.
And
so
I didn't know this.
Uncomfortable. That's her shtick.
Yeah, I think it's all about getting back at her dad, like
religion or sex.
I mean, like a virgin, you've got to remember as well. I mean, how religious was that? She did a video where there was like she did a video where it was like the whole like burning cross thing as well, wasn't there? Was it a burning cross, or was it just like a cross in it, and the whole thing was that she was meant to be?
I can't remember. It's so old, but it was explicit. I love Monsieur EDP, Rudy. Love it.
What's Monsieur EDP?
Chanel. I'm Pour Monsieur.
Oh, of course. Oh, sorry. I didn't see the Pour Monsieur EDP. I absolutely love Pour Monsieur EDP. I can't wear the EDT. Turns like into bleach on us.
Ooh.
The lemon turns really nasty on us in that. But the EDP is fucking glorious.
It is. It's nice. It's got more depth and it's heavier than the EDT.
Yeah, it's got that. I've got the cologne concentrate as well. That's nice.
That's the EDP, isn't it? The cologne concentrate.
Yeah, it's essentially what they called the EDP before they called it EDP. It's nice. I like the EDP.
It's a nice lavender.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's great for like late spring, early summer. Put a white shirt on, put that on. You're the man.
Nice and crisp. Yeah, it's very classy, very masculine.
That's right. That's a Jacques Polge, isn't it?
I would imagine. How you feeling, Rich?
Tired.
Are ya? Is it ready to go?
I'm ready to sleep. 2.5 hours again.
Some biscuits first.
I can't. I've got no biscuits. People keep mentioning biscuits, and I can't have biscuits.
You started it. You started gnawing on biscuits in the last stream.
Oh, it was lush.
And we're corrected by the therapist here. It's pronounced pour monsieur. What? Pour monsieur. Pour monsieur. That sounds... It doesn't sound right. Pour monsieur. Why wouldn't it just be spelled like that then, if that's how you want us to pronounce it?
Pour monsieur. Pour monsieur.
Poor Musher.
Poor Musher. All right, Musher. Rich, what's your favorite biscuits? Possibly fig biscuits, but I was eating digestive biscuits the other night.
Now I feel like some Ben and Jerry's.
Oh God,
like
no!
Some ice cream. But that means I'd have to leave the house to get some.
Yeah, are you not going for a 10K run tonight?
I don't feel like it. Pour monsieur. Poor Musher. We got some whack people here, eh?
What's your favorite food? I had my favorite food today. What's your favorite food?
I've really been enjoying Indian lately. Like, love Indian food.
Oh, what you been eating? What like? Can you narrow it down?
Lamb curry, biryani, chicken biryani, chicken lollipop chicken. I get butter chicken. I get.
What about a Rogan Josh?
No, I've never tried that.
Rogan Josh is a really nice. I like a Rogan Josh. I like without mushrooms. I can't tolerate mushrooms.
My kids can't stand mushrooms either. But Yura Rose, this sounds like sexual. Love a hobnob. What is that?
It's a biscuit.
Hobnob.
It's a type of biscuit. I will send you some. I don't know if it's legal, but I will try and send you some. Absolutely fucking glorious. Rogan Yosh isn't necessarily a lamb curry, Denby. You can have it with chicken.
I like shawarmas too for something fast.
Right.
Do you guys, is that popular where you are? It's really like it's everywhere here. Middle Eastern food.
It's not, no, shawarmas aren't huge over here yet. But I can
Massive.
imagine they will be.
They're massive.
Lily says that I went through a phase of eating madras, and that's right, I did. And that I can tell you, I went through about a 3-month phase of eating madras, once, maybe twice a week, and then it stopped. I think I fucking burned me bum hole.
Yes, Rudy. Rudy says the toilet loves Indian food as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
I know mine does.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking
I
hell.
gotta lay paper down before I sit.
Oh,
like
honestly,
into the water.
The key to the Jesus Christ, the key to eating Indian food is to drink some fucking milk or some ice cream afterwards.
No, I hate milk. I really don't like milk. I love ice cream, but not milk. I just think of pus, you know, it's so thick and nasty.
Jesus Christ, I've never made that connection again. If I can't drink milk anymore after this, I'll not be happy.
Really, you drink milk at your age?
No, I drink milk at my age. Absolutely, it's good for your bones.
No,
it's good for you in general.
I've never had milk in the fridge ever.
Ah, it's good stuff. I have it with my cereal.
Rogan Yosh, what is that with chicken and some?
Rogan Yosh is like a tomato sauce type of thing.
Is that Indian?
Yes, it is. Yes, try Rogan Yosh. See how much you like. See how much you like it.
Donairs, yeah, we got a good donair place here, not far. I go there once in a while. Donairs are good too, but it's very much like shawarmas.
It's like Greek food.
We used to eat a lot of Greek like 20 years ago. There was a lot of Greek restaurants, but I don't notice them as much anymore. We had like a Mr. Greek and like souvlaki places.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoyed Greek very much.
Milk is life. Yeah, the milk of human kindness and all that sort of thing. Yeah, it's Dura Rose, exactly. I love madras, what my arse doesn't. That's right. Honestly, the pain and suffering is just, hey, it's not worth it. Whimpering for hours. Absolutely fucking absolutely awful. Some people have evolved to be able to drink milk without having like lactose intolerance, but some people haven't. Lebanese food, Lebanese food, some of the best food in the world. The thing with the Lebanese is it's like the crossroads of the world. People say it's Turkey, but really it's the Lebanon. Very special place, the Lebanon.
I'm not a fan of pork. I don't like the smell of pork.
I don't like pork, but I do like the rest of what comes off a pig. Don't like pork chops.
I'm not a fan of pork chops either.
No, I don't like pork chops. I don't know why. I just don't like fucking.
I don't mind bacon, but I don't like pork chops.
I like bacon. I love bacon.
It grosses me out though.
Really?
Yeah, it's very greasy and oily, and I hate the smell of my house if I cook pork.
Right.
It's nasty. It's very thick, and you can't get rid of it. It's like it just floats in here for hours.
I'm a big pork fan. Apart from pork, I like pig, but I don't care for pork.
Ever try lamb testicles? I have not. I've tried any testicles,
fucking
including my own.
I will not eat raw lamb's testicles. I will not eat cooked lamb's testicles. I will not eat anything lamb. Can't eat lambs. It was my favorite animal when I was a kid. I lived near a farm.
Oh, I love how gamey it is.
No, I used to live. I used to eat No, not eat. I used to live near a farm. I still do actually live in the same place. And they used to have the lambs and they were my favorite things. I used to love. I also used to love how stupid they were, and just how like mad and woolly and cute they were. But I can't. So I could never eat one. Still see them now, and I'm like, oh, you little idiots, soft little idiots.
I can give my dad a lamb head and he would suck everything right out of it. The eyeballs, the tongue, the brain. He's just like, it's like his favorite part is the head. Like, I want to throw up when I see him doing that.
Fucking disgusting. A horrible man. I couldn't do that. Like, I could not do that. And my dad used to do something absolutely mental. How do you know chewit? You ever had a chewit?
Don't know what that is.
Chewit is like a sweet, and it's like you used to get like not tubes. I suppose like a tube of them, right? But they used to come wrapped in this like fucking. That you used to have to take like a plastic wrapping off them first, right? Just like a little sweet that you used to have to take the wrapper off before you ate it, and he would just fucking straight up eat them with the wrapper on. And I'd be like, "What are you doing?" And he'd just be like, "I was like, nobody else I have ever seen in my entire life has ever like doesn't take." Like the candy tablet, chalky, yes, yes, Lily, chew it like a candy tablet. That's right. And my dad used to eat them without taking the wrappers off. The fucking lunatic. And fucking fads, I've got a lot to answer for. Mental people. Lamb brain was so gross I couldn't swallow it, but I tried. Haggis is fucking vile as well.
What's
Like,
haggis? Is that like intestine or something?
Yeah,
Stomach?
it's like loads of different parts of like the sheep all wrapped in like the lining of the gut, and it's like you fucking perverts. It's so gross. No, I don't have Instagram. Sorry, Brie.
It sounds gross. It doesn't sound very pleasurable to me.
Oh, honestly, that fucking rascals. I couldn't do it. How Croats do. Bri, why do you ask if I've got Instagram? Do you want to get in touch with us or something? If you leave a message on my channel, I'll send you my email address.
When we were kids, my dad brought home two. They were like baby lamb. And I thought they were going to be like our pets. You know, he brought them home in the trunk. And he's like, come see these. And we were having he was throwing a party, a celebration. And he's like, come see what I have in the trunk. And he opens up the trunk and there's these like two baby lamb in there. I was like, oh, yay. Like we have pets. So I've never had a dog or a cat. And I come back out in the garage like a half hour later and they're hanging from the rafters with their heads cut off. And the fucking floor of the garage is just like soaked in blood. I was like horrified. It's like, oh my God, what happened? He was getting ready to roast them on the spit.
Jesus Christ, that sounds like straight out Silence of the Lambs, that, you know.
Fucking traumatizing. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was just like this blood gushing out of these lamb.
That is fucking outrageous. That have you ever spoken to like a therapist about that?
No, not about that. And I remember going to Croatia once when I was a kid, and you know everybody lives on the farm there, and they kill their own meat, they kill their own animals. And my grandmother, they had chickens. She grabs this chicken and like with her bare hands cuts the head off, right? Chops the head off, puts the chicken down, lets it go, and the chicken starts running around for a few minutes. I was like, what the fuck? There's this chicken running around with no head, right? And it's running properly.
Yes, they do. Yes, that's right. Fucking mental.
Complete mental.
It is
like saying it doesn't even make sense. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's traumatizing. If I were you, I'd get yourself back to your therapist, and I would be like, yeah, I want this came up in a stream, and I needed to talk to someone about it. That is fucking mental.
Have you ever had rabbit, like a rabbit stew?
No, I'm not into game very much. I don't even like venison.
Delicious. I love rabbit. I take rabbit over chicken any day.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know that if you only ate rabbit, you would starve to death?
Why is that?
because it uses more calories to digest it than it does that you retrieve from the rabbit.
Oh shit! It's
They're
that heavy.
they're so weak. They're so fucking weak nutritionally that you will actually lose weight eating a rabbit. And if you only eat rabbit for like a long time, you will starve to death.
Yeah, but you'd
Man.
starve like a happy man because rabbit is delicious.
Oh, fuck that. You can keep that shit. I'll tell you what I really like. Really like. We were talking about pork before. There's this stuff called Iberico ham, and it's them black pigs that the fuck like jamon Iberico, and they're like these black pigs, and just not before they're about to die, but what they do is that for like a few months before they die, they feed them acorns, right? And that's like they get fed loads of acorns, put them out into like big fucking like woods of like acorns and stuff, these black pigs, and they eat these acorns, right? And then they obviously slaughter them, and it's the finest ham in the world, and you can taste the fucking like they get this nuttiness about them, right? So you get this nutty ham. It's like a nutty ham. Honestly, it's the fucking right. They cut it so fine, right? You get the meat and they cut it so fine, right? That it literally you put it on your tongue and it melts, right? It's absolutely stunning. It's some of the best meat I've ever eaten. It's very salty, so like I usually have mine with I get like a slice of toast, right? And then you get like you fry the toast. And then you get some tomato, and you mash the tomato. You put tomato.
What do you mean you fry the bread?
You fry the bread in a pan, right? So you fry the bread in a pan instead of toasting it. You fry the bread in the pan, right? And then when it's cooked, you get the tomato and you mash it up, and you spread the tomato on top of the fried bread, right? And then you put a couple of slices. You put a couple of slices of that ham on the top and eat it, and it's fucking absolutely sensational. I'm fucking hungry.
Street food.
No, fuck that. It's duck food. Come to this house. I'll sort you out.
Have you ever had duck? Do you like duck?
No.
I like duck.
I don't like. I think
duck as well.
Yeah, duck will fucking like a duck fat fire, like a duck fat fire.
It's the complete opposite of rabbit.
Yeah, it's fucking outrageous. Like, it's far too fucking
model.
It's far too fucking far too greasy. Like, I cannot be eating duck. Like
Peking duck, yum.
Peking duck, watching duck, peering duck. Duck is fatty. It's not very nice. Not that fatty. A little bit fatty.
I don't think he's talking about you.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is a real thing, man. I witnessed it. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely horrific. Like, it's absolutely grim as fuck. It's like it. Do you know what I think that must be? That must be like an evolutionary trait. It's the same as deers. When deers get hurt, they'll like jump up and run off, right? So that like what it does is it makes it like pointless hunting for them. So like you don't get the meat from the hunt.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like an evolutionary sort of trait, I think. It's the same with deer. Like, my mate once hit a deer in the car, and it was like a glancing blow, and the fucking deer got up and ran off, and I was like, "There's no way that deer's gonna survive." You know what I mean? But it just got up and fucked off.
You know, I was driving home from work it was 2 weeks ago, maybe. And I live in this small town. I mean, there's not much forest area here. And as I was driving, this deer jumps out of the woods and runs right in front of my car, fully grown deer. And it's like sprints across the road. I had to slam on my brakes. I was within feet of hitting this thing, like a nice white-tailed deer. And it just blows out to the other side into the ravine. And it terrified me. I was like, what? Like, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Everything happens so fast, and I've never seen a deer here or anything that big. It's a really big animal.
They're so stupid. It's
It seemed that
unbelievable.
way. Even squirrels will stop and they'll let traffic pass before they cross the road. But this deer, it's like I was literally 3 feet away from it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're so stupid. They're so flighty. They're worse than horses. Like the thing you've got to remember is like to do with like the equation for intelligence, right? Is how big the brain is compared to the body of an animal. Like it's to do with the ratio. So that's why humans are like so clever, because our brain compared to the size of our body is massive. We've got huge brains compared to the size of our bodies. And then if you look at horses, right? They're horses are idiots. They're emotionally quite intelligent, but like cognitively, like trying to teach a horse like anything is like they're not very bright. Deer are worse. Fish,
well,
obviously, most fish.
Deer in headlights is for a reason.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of like most animals will like shit themselves in the headlights. It's just that it happens to deer. It's just that happens to deer more often because they're usually like lurking around in the dark in the woods. But like if you see a car coming and you look up and like see it like the headlights in your fucking thing, you'll stand there in shock as well.
Yeah. Ordered a crispy supreme. I can't stand Pizza Hut. It's so dry and greasy here. It's both. It's a contrast of dry and greasy. It's the worst pizza they have in Canada. Is Pizza Hut.
No, that's such a fucking terrible joke from Jura. That ordered a thin and crusty supreme from Pizza Hut. They gave me Diana Ross. She was in the Supremes. Yes, very good.
Current chickens. I've been going Google chicken from 50 years ago. What a chicken looked like in the 70s or 80s, and it's unrecognizable to what they look like today. They've been reformulated.
It's mad how we've bred animals, isn't it? I mean, like you know, dairy cows. There should be no such thing as a dairy cow. There should be no such thing as a dairy cow. It's that we've bred dairy cows to produce milk all the time. Like over hundreds and thousands of years. It's yes, Denby, thank you. I'm gonna try and say that word. Encephalization quotient. Nice. Yes, that's right. It's to do with the size of the brain to the body. Is how to like that's blue whales. Blue whales have got huge brains and they're very intense. Dolphins have got massive brains compared to their bodies. Tyrannosaurus Rex, they were fucking idiots because they had tiny brains compared to the size of their bodies. I'm going to go and play in traffic and test my reaction. Let us know how you get on, mate.
Right. I love to see your reaction face, your deer face, deer caught in headlights face.
Oh, for fun, they must be smart. Yeah, exactly. Ramsey's absolutely spot on. Dolphins are the only other animals on the planet that we know of that have sex for fun, not just to reproduce. Yeah, not just to reproduce.
For enjoyment, for pleasure.
Rudy, I don't know about the opium secret de parfum, but if you can get a hold of any size of it, mate, I would. It's fucking beautiful, like. I don't know what red myrrh is, but it smells fucking fantastic.
What's red myrrh?
Well, that's what I fucking want to know. What is red myrrh? How different is it? It's absolutely lovely though. That secret de parfum, the vintage opium. Oh, beautiful. Dolphin.
All right, Rich.
Okay, this has gone too far. Yeah, right.
Let's cancel this before
I've got to be up in the morning.
All right, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us. Thank you to Joey. It was nice to hear from her. I haven't spoken to Joey for a while. It was nice to speak to Joey and to Eva.
Yeah, it was good to see Joey. Good to see George. Good to see Eva. Eva's still around. The other two they're long gone. But regardless, I enjoy all of them, it's nice to see new faces and hear new thoughts.
Yeah. That's right.
Guys in the chat, thanks for coming on. We'll see you soon. Rich, thank you.
Thank you.
Love you. We'll see y'all